coming in, and we're gonna do it the only way we know how. We're going.
Facts.
That's it, brother. Bring it on.
Facts. Not
Yeah,
not
not
crazy drama.
exactly facts. The facts of the matter is X1 will launch. It will be immutable, decentralized, censorship resistant, all of the above, bitches. Let's
Great.
go.
Uh, Do you approve? Thumbs up or leave your comment below. And Thane, I'm not talking to you because you're high as a kite and relaxing in your hot tub. Oh, come on, dude. Not even a laugh? How about a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah, he might just be having his PSP and he's dealing with Nova Scotia snow. A lot of the guys got their PFPs up and they're probably doing other things. But we welcome everybody in. We're gonna have a good space. We're not here for a long time, but for a good time. And we welcome the FUD. We welcome everyone that wants to talk their shit. Come talk your shit. We might have some special guests. I tagged some special guests. And if you want a special guest to come on in, we'll tag them. And we might just come up and yeah, it'll be good.
Okay, Rome. Invite Jack and Zenzu in.
You want them? Okay. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you're important, so they'll come rushing over.
You asshole. How you doing? Walking in? Después de este te cojo. What's up, Thane? Good afternoon, Hexy, Steve Mon, Clay, Zen, all the good people, all the good Zenians, Polsicans. Yeah, good people, the good people. Nice to see you guys. Welcome to the barbershop. Come up and talk your shit accordingly. Seems like we got some clarity on the DAG and the blockchain. That's pretty cool. We got some clarity.
Well, Rome, you invited the Fudders, so I'm just going to drop down as a listener and I'm going mint. Mint my Zen. It's compatible to you mining your blocks and fuck the noise. And yeah, I'm bullish. Hexy, thumbs up or a thumbs down? Do you approve? Mint, not buy. Mint.
There you go. There's your approval. You get thumbs up for minting. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you. To know, got to know now. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Barber Shop. I appreciate everybody coming in. Yeah, we got some interesting topics today. We got some interesting people coming in. Yeah, so I want you guys to hold on tight. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, my friends. I heard all about it. Can you guys hear me? Extra, extra. Read all about it. I'm coming for you, Augman. Coming for you, my brother. I'm coming for you, ranking. I'm coming for you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm under 300 right now, sir. I'm under 300. All 80. Okay. Is it 80? Are you ranked 80, brother? Holy shit. That's bullets, bro. And they're talking shit about us, bro. They talking we doing this shit for fun. Is this for educational purposes only? The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Augman. Tell them. This is only a test, huh? I know, motherfuckers. I'll see you guys on the other side. Me and Jack. I'm going to fucking Hawaii, bitches. I'm going Hawaii. Me and Jack, bitch. Hell yeah. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. What's up, Reflections?
Hey, I was just gonna say, wouldn't it be funny if he just came through and said, "All right, the test is over. We're gonna go ahead and trash this one. Let's go ahead and get started on the next."
Let's go. Oh no. Oh no.
Nah, that's all good, man.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man.
How you feel? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. You hear the Jamaican music in the back?
Yes, sir. I heard that mean old slap earlier this morning when you first got in. It's like, damn, I need to be dapped up with that one.
Which one? Help me.
It was right when you came in at Thane's face earlier this morning.
Okay, what did I say?
Oh no, y'all just dapping it up.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of missed the whole space, but I caught the gist of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good, bro.
Yeah, I just been chilling though, man. Just trying to get some of these clothes done today since I ain't got too much work, but it is what it is.
Nice.
I've been scooping up on Phantom today.
Oh yeah, Phantom is what price?
The token itself, I think it's like around the 40 cent range. Or
Okay.
40? Yeah, 41. And I've just been attacking these limit orders. I think on I think it's Spooky Swap. I think you can do limit orders on there. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. I've been trying to just.
Okay, so you set it for a number that you want.
Nah, I just been
scooping it up.
Yeah, I just been buying market. I'm just trying to figure out if anybody's going to place any more because I want to buy cheap. I don't want to cause the price to go up all by myself.
Nice, but in other words, you're accumulating Phantom.
Yes, sir. I figured I'd go for.
Let's fucking go, baby.
You know.
Let's go.
Whatever one's the cheapest and has a lot of supply that it can be
go.
burned, so I can be ready.
What's the total supply on Phantom? Do you know? No, I mean, are we doing Phantom Xen or Phantom?
Phantom Xen.
Okay.
Yeah, I just been scooping that up so I can throw it over in DXN to get that burn allocation.
Nice. Burn record. Nice. Smart man.
I mean, because if this ain't the bottom of the market, I don't know what is, or at least for a Phantom,
Okay. So how much it costs for a Billy over there? Help me out.
Let me pull it up and see.
Let the people know. Let the people know. What does it cost for a Billy and Phantom?
For $1 billion. Was that 9 zeros?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's like 8 zeros or 9 zeros. Probably like $2 or some shit. What is it?
It's billion. 70 cents. No, that's Phantom.
70
That's
cents?
Phantom. Hold on. Let me switch to USD. That's 29 cents for $1 billion.
For a Billy?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I figured I'd start over here because I don't know what chart. I think it was the DXN chart that caught my attention. Let me go pull it up.
Nice.
Let me go see when it had its good pumps. Let me go see. It went from it went into the double digits. So let's say maybe January this year would have been a good buy, and it pumped all the way to like maybe 3 cents, but the wick, that initial wick, went almost to 8.5, or basically like 8 cents 5. So it's got some life in it, Just gotta stimulate it. That's all.
Nice. Oh, worst case scenario, you burn it, you get your XN.
There you go.
You'll have all that. Yeah, bro.
I had a voice in the back of my head. It was Hexy. She was just like, "You ain't helping nobody on Mexi. Buy on chain, damn it."
Hexy beautiful, man. I ain't never seen her day in my life, but I think she's fine as fuck. Yeah. Love it when she do what she do. It only Hexy can do.
Yeah, that's just where my attention been at today. I think yesterday I was trying to get a few more wallets out on Pulse Chain for the eBTC stuff, and then I've been debating whether or not to go in on DBZen on Pulse Chain as well.
Okay. Nice. Got a couple mints coming out. I gotta get them. I was supposed to get them last night, but I was tired, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh must be too busy nowadays. I ain't heard his voice in a minute.
Sorry, I had a phone call, guys. My bad.
Oh, you good?
Josh, what's up? My brother Josh.
We up in here. We lit. We lit up in the barbershop, man.
Yes. Thanks for coming out, my brothers, and showing love.
Yes, sir. It's a good time for me to talk. It's nice and quiet. My daughter's sleeping over there, so I gotta pull up.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, find those good time slots and pull up. We'll talk about some good things about crypto, man. We still in here. Still flowing, still minting, still trading.
Right? How's it been over there on base? I haven't looked over there in a minute.
Oh yeah, I got a question for you, Reflection. I don't know if you noticed some type of airdrop from some token called Dog. You got that in your wallet?
I don't know. I need to go see because somebody else just asked me about an airdrop.
But because since the only thing I do on base is minting Xen, so I opened up that wallet, a bunch of my wallets, and they all got like that airdrop or some token called Dog, and it's like $3 worth. But I don't want to touch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So
yeah, let me go check and see.
But I'm still there though. I'm still minting on base. Still cruising through base.
Nice.
But I'm really every day I do the Zenify lobby. You be doing that?
No, I haven't been on it recently. I think the last time I touched it is whenever they came out with that other token, and I realized how expensive the gas prices were in Arbitrum, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, some days it's kind of pricey at Arbitrum, but I just been doing the simple way to participate. A lot of people say it's complicated with the swap and all that. All you gotta do is go to the Earn tab and just deposit ETH or Binance in there. You get that VXNF. Nowadays, man, I'm getting paid like $5 worth of ETH, $5-6 worth every day.
Oh snap!
Yeah, man.
That's not bad at all.
The pay is really rising up because at first it was like $1 every day. They increased to $2. Now it's like $5 worth of ETH. And then on Binance, I'm getting like $3 worth every day. But that's only if you participate daily, though. So what you got to do is go in, get that 50% off. You can save money that way. And it's like $12, $14 worth of ETH and Binance. And then you get a whole chunk of VXNF. But that VXNF is locked up. But, at least it's locked up. You got some future money coming in. Time fly by, a whole year. Next thing you know, you can unlock it and you got some extra money while you stacking up on your native crypto. You get paid.
Right? As long as you don't forget about it.
Right.
Forget about it.
So it's the same thing with DBZen. So I got that going on. I got Zenify, DBZen. My favorite one's Post Chain, man. The Post Chain drips still coming in.
Yeah, I noticed that it's been a good rate. And I had like less than nothing in there, and I still get a good amount every day. So that's why I've been considering putting more over there.
Yeah, lately I try to burn daily Post Chain because and then also I did good on EBTC. So got a nice bag over there too, man.
Oh, nice.
But you start minting though, right? You probably just buying it, man.
I minted like 2 days ago, and then I don't know. I just been busy doing other stuff. I think I might get back on it today, because what I would do is I would just claim those rewards, and that'd be enough for at least 5 or 6 wallets to keep me going. Because initially I was selling. I think I sold like 4 times maybe to keep the minting going, but after a while I just
Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie. I probably sold like 2 or 3 times, but I kind of stopped minting for a couple of days. Just been buying it.
Yeah, because I think somebody had asked me about that, and I did the math on it real quick, and at the time it was cheaper to buy. So, but it is what it is. But how's it been over on your Tron side?
Oh, Tron is good, man. Tron pump. Tron is at 13 cents now, so that's some extra money over there too, man.
Damn.
Yeah,
how
Tron is
cheap
like
it over there.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's getting a little pricey. So I've been doing less Tron than I was doing last year. Last year I was going hard. So I did pretty good in my position because I've been in Tron since it was like 5-6 cents. Now it's now it just recently touched 14 cents. So it all depends how much you put in. So I had a good bag.
Man, do you think Xen would have done well over there, or what's the chain like as far as in like the transaction?
I don't know. That's a good question because the way Tron works, to be honest, it's not 100% decentralized. They say it is, but there's something with that energy, the energy rental. You know about that?
Oh no.
So basically the way Tron works, you could get like free transactions if you stake your Tron, and then you get like these energy units. So then you have to, wrap your head around those type of numbers, because those type of numbers determine how many transactions you could make on Tron, throughout the day. So once your energy gets, once you use all your energy, you could wait it out and wait for it to recharge. So you could keep doing transactions.
Oh dang, that's a pretty dope concept. I know some people wouldn't like it.
There you go. You see, so
interesting.
some other people might have different perspectives on it, So maybe,
are you able to pay more or just like pay like a fee to transact, or you still just gotta wait if you ain't got them tokens or like the energy?
yeah, you just gotta wait till it gets replenished. But that's only if you have enough Tron state. And you need like at least like, I would say, to do a good amount of transactions daily, like maybe 2 or 3, like $1,000 worth of Tron. So it's a bit pricey,
Whoo.
Yeah. So if you don't have Tron, you could just rent energy. You could pay like a small amount of TRX and get, some energy that way. Or you could just use your Tron, But some people would like to save your Tron, so people do it that way.
That's what's up then.
But there's many strategies you could do in the Tron ecosystem. So you just got to wrap your head around it.
Right. I'm gonna look into
But
it.
I've
over there.
Yeah, I've used a lot of Tron resources to mint Xen. Like most of the money I used was from Tron because Tron got TRC 20 Ethereum. So sometime I'll just convert some Tron and Ethereum, borrow against it, and I'll still have my Ethereum while minting Xen.
Nice.
Yeah,
because I remember you
Xen,
talking about that often, about the drips that you was getting over there.
Oh yeah, I'll be getting drips from some Tron NFTs too. If you guys want to check it out, TronNinjas.com. They have a sale going on where you get them NFTs a lot cheaper. Because them NFTs get more expensive. They're like maybe $100 up and up. I think the sale is like $60, and you'll get them Tron NFTs. You can stake it, and you get free Tron that way too.
Gotcha. And I'm checking out my wallet. I don't think I've got that token you mentioned earlier. I don't think I got that one. You said it was on base?
On base, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that in the main wallet that I use, but I'll look around and see. Was that like some meme token they had over there?
I don't even know because this wallet was only connected to the base network, so it's probably some meme token that came from base.
Yeah, probably. Just be safe out there. I want Don't fool with it.
Exactly. See, that's why I want to ask around for, because I still haven't touched it. It's just there, you know. And that's the same thing that goes on in the Tron ecosystem. You get a whole bunch of airdrops, and the best thing to do is don't even touch it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like junkie.
Besides, yeah. People's wallets get drained not only by giving up their private key or C phrases, but from clicking on shit. And it's crazy, man. We just gotta stop, clicking on these random things.
Yep. Or whenever you give something access, like whenever you connecting up your wallet and stuff like that, that could be it right there.
Yeah, that too. And then also with these airdrops might be connected to some type of, I don't know the way they're doing it nowadays, but these hackers, they're always updating. So that's why we gotta always be aware.
Right.
It's about to get trippy out here, man. So you just gotta open up our eyes more, and just be careful.
That's right. You see, BNB had a little run up.
Oh yeah, that too, man. Binance. That's what I'm saying. On my Zenify, I got me a nice Binance bag, from the drips.
Nice.
So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with that right now. With Binance and Tron,
And they doing auctions for Binance too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the time frame for that first slot? Where do you get the discount?
So for Binance, at 4:30. So every day at 4:30, you get in there, and it's for like an hour. So
You're
once
on
that,
East Coast,
what was that?
You on East Coast?
On my East Coast, yeah. So I guess whatever time zone you're in, or
Gotcha. I'm
just look at the timer.
Yeah, I'm just an hour behind then.
Yeah. And then for the Arbitrum, it's at 5:30. For some reason, I don't know why it's like that.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna get off in there and start playing. I'm watching. I'm trying not to say anything about it, but I'm watching this DXN1. I think it ends at like 6 or 7 in the morning for me. But I'm the only one that went in on this pool for this cycle, so hopefully I get the whole lot.
Yeah, so you pretty much on DXN just try to wait towards the last minute, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like people really don't get into like the last hour, but I'm never really up that early unless the baby's up. So I just
Same
get
here.
so heavy.
Sometimes I'll do it late at night. I try to catch those.
Yeah.
It's tough at the time, and yeah, you're right.
Whew. But you ready for this X1?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You got all your wallets accounted for? That was one thing I was thinking about. I was like, I'm gonna have to go and track down every wallet that I actually burned with, so that way, I can try to consolidate my allocation and it just won't be sitting somewhere,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think I got like maybe like 5-10 wallets I was burning with, and then I started some new ones. So I'm keeping track of that. Yeah, you're right. You gotta keep track of all these wallets, man. I got a whole bunch.
Yeah, that's one thing I recommend for anybody who hasn't done it yet. Just do an inventory count for if you burn somewhere, so that way you'll be prepared when it's time. If you're doing like auctions or if you want to participate after, when X1 launches and all that. But I'm really excited and anxious to see what's going to happen when it does launch, because we've had some bad actors, and we got some whales and they like to manipulate. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna flow with it. with not too much hype. Like I'm excited, yeah, but I just wanted to just let it come when it comes. The same way with Post Chain. Like Post Chain came out of nowhere too, like that. Like, well, at least Jack told us, some type of time frame. But
Right.
it might get postponed. Who knows? So let's not get too emotional if it does. If it does, it's okay. As long as it comes out sometime this year, I'm okay with
Right.
that.
Because I do remember it was a few times he mentioned that the supply. It's like what's going to be in hand, readily available for the burden. If it ain't satisfactory, shoot, I say just throw that poll out there. You know, let the people decide. But it is what it is. I'm like you. I'm not having my hopes up too high because that's how you let yourself down. Just go with the flow. Stay hydrated, like Simple says.
Yeah, man, that's the best way to put it. Stay hydrated, stay focused on, and just be on the lookout for other projects out there too that might catch your interest, that you can still participate, But I am a true Zenian for sure. Like I'm still minting Zen, looking forward to X1, you know. But like I said, I don't want to get too hyped up about it because anything can happen. And I just want it to come out, sometime this year. So, because supposedly it's supposed to
Right?
come out sometime in March, right? Sometime late March, maybe.
Yeah, that was the kind of the rough time frame that he gave us was first quarter, and I wouldn't be too mad if it was second or whatever, as long as as long as it comes out.
Yeah, as long as it comes out, that's running nice and smooth. Because if you guys to take a little bit longer to launch it, take your time. You know, it's a lot of work. Talking about an actual blockchain here, so it's not like an actual token you launch. This is a blockchain.
Right?
So
I'm glad we got a bunch of people in there participating and interacting with it, so they can try to find all those bugs and flaws, so that way we don't have to go through that whole ordeal after it
Oh
launches.
yeah, definitely, man. I know Jack has a big team, and we're all a team here. All of us in this space, we're a big team. There's a lot of people involved, and not only in the Zen minting, but the Zen blocks and all that. It's a big ecosystem. It's yeah.
Right? And you know how embarrassing that would be after all the crap talking people have done about Solana and other chains. If X1 comes out and it breaks the first day,
That'll be crazy, man.
couldn't say nothing about nobody else ever. But it happens. But yeah, I've
So
been
yeah, that's what Jack is trying to that same type of technology of Solana, right, into X1,
yeah.
right? Because Solana is not really like 100% like EVM type, like how Binance is, Avalanche. They got like their own type of unique flow when it comes to tech.
hmm Have you got a chance to play around on that Mastodon yet?
Which one?
Mastodon, the marketplace that DBZen did.
Oh no, not yet. Not yet. How's that
To
going?
be to be honest, I haven't either. I haven't even clicked on the link yet.
Yeah, like with DBZen, I haven't even been doing no DBZen NFTs, none of that. Just the regular burning Zen on Pulse Chain, Avalanche, and sometimes Ethereum. It's tough on Ethereum, man. I'm trying to just not do Ethereum anymore, man.
Yeah, that it got real quick with them gas prices.
But them drips still coming in ETH, so I ain't complaining.
Nice. But yeah, I think I figured out the magic medicine. The more I complain about no one coming to build on X1, the more results we get. We got what was that? The system stake. I think that's the account name.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah, I'll be playing with that. Just make sure you use a burner wallet. And it seems pretty cool.
Right. Seems like a pretty cool concept for especially for people that like to trade but don't have time to. I mean, if it's truly just based off the Fibonacci, I think I'll test it out like a few rounds just to see how well it works. But I think the selection has to be um, I think you have to choose like a good token. I don't think you just can just put like a meme token off in there and expect it to do well. It's like I'd rather do like ETH or uh, Bitcoin or Matic or something like that
So
for
like
free
basically,
cash.
basically you could put in any token you want in those type of votes we was talking about, right?
Yeah, I think he said he's going to be doing certain ones. Um, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't caught all of his conversations, but I imagine like the staples should be on there. At least got to have Bitcoin on there.
I mean, yeah. So at first it's gonna be built on Pulse Chain, and that's gonna be a project on X1. So
Yep.
here you go.
And see, when he mentioned that, that's what got me thinking. I was like, all right, what can I do with that? It's like I can do maybe a Tropa or um, either Zen or the OG Zen. But
But
I
then
need
I
to
heard,
look
I
into
heard,
more.
I
Go ahead.
heard them votes pay in the native crypto as well. Like what's gonna be the native crypto on X1 is XN, right?
Right.
Right. So I guess with that project, if you want to earn extra XN, just play around with that and you'll get some XN drips from that protocol.
Yeah, I need to look at the his white paper, but I think there is like some form of tax or something. I can't remember if there was like a. I need to go look at it because I can't remember what he said earlier this
Because
morning.
I know for
But
Zenify, I'm using Zenify to get paid in Binance because I'm getting paid in Binance every day and Ethereum on Arbitrum though, and then the um, Zenify is gonna come out on Ethereum, so the same type of flow, do the same thing, entering into the lobbies. Now I get to get paid in Ethereum on the Ethereum mainnet with Zenify. So with the same concept with the state protocol project, it's gonna be launching on X1. I think I'm gonna use that protocol to get paid in XN, them drips, because I'm all about them drips. Those drips really help, to
right,
keep doing transactions in the crypto space. I do transactions daily. Every single day, you have to do a transaction, and you do it with these drips. You know.
yeah. I can't remember what he exactly said, but he kept saying that he can't physically go and get the XN. We would have to do it. So I imagine maybe we get the native chain token, and then we can choose to swap for whatever. I don't know. I have to go. I need to do my thorough research because half the time somebody just be yapping in my ear. I'm done with it, man. These diapers. But yeah, hope everybody doing well out there, down in the crowd. Good, cool to see everybody pulling up, as Rome would say.
Yeah, yo, hope everybody doing good out there. You know?
So a little off topic. What phone service do you have, sir?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm using 2 phone lines. I got the Helium Mobile, and then I got a Spectrum.
Damn, son. So you probably weren't even affected by the outage this morning, were you?
Oh, nah. But I heard some people did. I heard Rome did too. But he
Yeah. It was weird. It hit both my phones. I still had data for some reason, like because I was listening on the stream this morning, even after I got off the wireless. But yeah, it was like I guess it was like a nationwide outage until I think it was like a few hours ago when they started getting parts of the network back up. That's just crazy, man. Only emergency calls could go through. That's ridiculous.
Hey, I just want to say welcome Excalibur. What's going on, Excalibur? Thank you for stopping through the barbershop, my brother. You're always welcome. Much love. Much respect. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you said welcome Fudders, so I'm here.
I was like, who is this?
Let's
Over
fucking go. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. That's what I'm talking about. Let it out.
I was over here watching the nest. I was like, is this person about to start posting stuff? What up, Block? How you been doing, bro?
Nah, just chilling.
Cool.
What's up, Josh? Man, send that phone back, bro, if you ain't using it. Let me give it out to someone else, bro. Helium, man.
My bad, yo. My daughter woke up. What up, Block? Nah, I'm still using the phone.
Nah, man, you got like 3 phones, bro. Let me give it to somebody that needs it, man. You got like Helium, man. You got a Solana phone, and you got another decentralized phone, bro.
Where I got mad devices here.
Yeah, nah, there's people out there that need it. If you got like them bootleg phones, it's all good. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Nah, I'm doing good. Just trying to be up in these spaces just to catch up. Haven't been around too much, but it's all good.
So, what do you guys mean by footing on X1? Is it fact or is like talking fact? Is that like footing or what do you guys call that?
No. We had we had a couple interesting spaces ever since we seen you the other night. And so yeah, it's just we had a space yesterday. It was quite interesting. Speaking about the DAG, not being centralized, decentralized. So it's kind of engagement farming, bro. It's whatever it takes, bro. Get the people in. You know how Jack showed us, right? Marketing. Nah, bro. I'm just having a good time, bro. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, brother.
No, nice,
Yeah,
man.
I saw some stuff passing on the timeline, and I just chose to ignore it because I wasn't there for all that drama, and I'm just gonna keep my ears closed.
No, I was just trying to, because I think Al had like a couple of questions. I'm like, can I ask anyone? Do you guys know what L2 is or no? Anybody?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Anybody want to attempt to answer that question?
What is a layer 2? To be honest, I would have to look up the definition because I don't go that deep into it. I can read one out for you though.
Yeah.
Don't put that in your mouth. Quit. Come here. Oh, my bad. Forgot to mute.
Layer 2 looks like Arbitron. Optimism, right? They scale for a layer 1, where you can complete your transactions. If you go on that chain, you complete your transactions on that chain and pay lesser fees. I know you want some more intricate shit, but I ain't giving it to you like that. I know a layer 2 like that. Arbitron, optimism, base. How low can you go? What else is a layer 2? That's my top, brother. Let's go.
All right, here, like, so act like I'm a newbie. I don't know nothing about it. So, like, explain to me what this X1 is.
For what I know, X1 it will be.
It's a layer 1 X1.
Yep. Go ahead, Josh.
So, can you explain to me what a layer 1 is? Like, just break it down to me like I'm a dummy. I don't know anything. I just know that you guys got this project named X1. I know about Xen, but explain to me what makes it different than the other chains. Like, come on, show to me.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll take you home, baby. I'll tell you home with proof of work. What I'm interested in, where proof of work, proof of stake, a fork of Phantom. So basically, it's exactly what Phantom is. Phantom is a DAG. We'll have a DAG, which is a database, right? Data storing unit. We'll be able to stake our XNM, which is the token that we're mining, and secure the network, build nodes, right? What else, brother? You know all this shit.
So when you say
Excalibur.
fork, when you fork them, what is that?
It's a copy of, right? A copy of. So a copy of Phantom. Yep.
So is Polygon a fork of Ethereum?
Yes. Polygon's a fork of Ethereum.
So X1 is a fork of Solana?
X1, no. We said that it's Phantom, fork of Dagger.
I mean, yeah, Phantom, right?
Phantom.
All right.
Are you trying to play trick questions, bro?
Nah, I'm just trying to see where your education, because trying to see where your education level is at.
Okay. All right. So I caught you on that one. Not Solana, but Phantom.
So what does that make it? If Matic is what? If Matic is a fork on Ethereum, what does that consider? L1 or L2?
Well, I know Polygon has an L1. Pulse Chain is a fork of Ethereum, and that's an L1, right?
I thought it was a layer 2.
Pulse Chain?
Polygon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Polygon is a layer 2.
Yeah, do you guys know your guys' terminology, or I'm just asking, bro? I'm a newbie here.
I know enough to mine some blocks, bro. You want to learn? You want to learn how to mine some Zenium, some Zen
I
blocks?
already know how to mine Zen blocks. Yeah, give it to me, man. Like, convince me that like coming over to X1 is gonna be, you know what I mean? Convince me that X1 is going to be like the next best thing out there.
Well,
What can we like? This is not funny, but like explain to me what makes it a lot more better than other chains out there. Like let's compare to Phantom. Let's compare to the Solana. I know Solana that goes down every quarter. Maybe they don't. Maybe they got to upgrade their server. But explain to me what makes this better.
let's not all speak at one time, but I'll give you my take. It ain't up yet, but I tell you what. But the fact that this is for the people, for the little guy like me and you, it's won me over, sir. Fair distribution, all right. Fair distribution from what I can see it. All right. Lowest barrier of entry. All right. You can get a layer 1, and all you got to do is burn your Xen for it to get your X1. That right there should sell you. The rest have had ICOs, IPOs, and all of that bullshit. But this one's for the people, sir. The Xenian people that want to burn their Xen. Everything got to go through Xen. There's no free rides here.
Not just the people, the vampires too.
What's up? What's up, Jack? Nice to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in. We had some serious questions asked. Maybe you can help us answer them.
Hey guys, I just want to hear some FUD. I want to hear some juicy, thick, strong FUD, and I want to talk
nice.
about.
We got Jack in the house.
Awesome. So you're running this chain on you more on the Ethereum base, right? Based on Geth, that's integrated into the nodes. Am I correct?
No, that would be wrong. There's no Geth integration into the nodes.
I thought you were using it in your early documentation.
I have never produced documentation where I actually spelled Geth.
Yeah, when we were on the space earlier, you were mentioning Geth maybe last year on the nodes.
Well, I talk about Geth, but Geth is a specific code that Ethereum runs, but and it basically translates to Go Ethereum, and we're not using Go Ethereum. We're using Phantom.
Oh, so you switched it. All right, awesome.
No, we never used Geth. Like we never ever actually ran Geth in any way. I mean, I looked at it. I looked at its code. I looked at code a lot. Because it has the Solidity interpreter in it, and we do a lot of work with Solidity, which is the EVM language, but it has nothing to do with the actual nodes that we're running.
So if it's a fork on Phantom, is that considered a layer 1 or layer 2?
Phantom is a layer 1, so it's a fork of layer 1.
So it'd be a layer 2, correct?
No. Just because you make a fork, it doesn't make it a layer 2. It's not like you increment a number. A layer 2 has a very, very specific definition, and the layer 1 has a very, very specific definition. I have just briefly listened, and a couple of you guys said that Matic Polygon is layer 2. It's actually incorrect. It's what they call a side chain. A side chain can have a bridge. They call it a plasma bridge to Ethereum. It settles its own transactions within itself. It doesn't actually need to transmit any data to Ethereum. However, it can if the protocol that is designed chooses to do so. And it started as a layer 2, but eventually it progressed into a side chain, creating its own consensus, as well as the settlement layer that is not dependent on Ethereum. Now, the reason why layer 2s exist, and a very, very good example of layer 2s would be Arbitrum, Optimism, Coinbase chain, which they call Base. Now, the reason to have, or why people would have a layer 2 is because they wouldn't actually have any sort of security or consensus. They would just have an execution layer where they can run Ethereum EVM faster and then they aggregate all those transactions through a system called a sequencer. A sequencer takes all of the transactions, puts them into one rollup, compresses everything, and then sends everything to Ethereum and creates a snapshot of that rollup. Now, the reason why they do that is because Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, has been around for a long time. So they want the data to be immutable. However, because they're layer 2 and they don't have a large node network and they don't have a lot of decentralization, they achieve decentralization by sending a snapshot to a system like layer 1, like Ethereum, that is sufficiently decentralized. So, for example, all of the ordinals, like this new hype with ordinals that's been going on since last March, they all settle on Bitcoin. And that's what makes people so excited about it, because you cannot get rid of an ordinal once you inscribe it and you have your keys to it, even though the actual creation of an ordinal happened on an exchange like Unisat, for example. So layer 2s work in a very similar manner. They accelerate transactions by having very, very, very quick consensus with just a couple of nodes, like 5 nodes, maybe even 3 nodes. In some cases, just one server. And so they have that server that serves the application layer for all of the transactions within that system. And then they roll everything up into this one batch of transactions, send it to Ethereum for a snapshot, and it becomes immutable and it no longer can be changed. So that's how they achieve the decentralization aspect of it, and that's why they're called layer 2, is because layer 1 is the security layer that offers very good decentralization. However, layer 2 is an application layer that offers speed. So that is the main difference between the layer 1 and the layer 2, where layer 2 is more application and it's faster, and it's basically less gas, because all of the transactions become this one giant large transaction that's compressed, that consists of many transactions batched together. Now, a layer 1 has its security derived from decentralization, from large number of nodes that are geographically dispersed, and it doesn't roll any transactions to any other chain. Like, for example, if Ethereum, like let's imagine Ethereum becomes a layer 2. So in Ethereum layer 2 would have to settle its transactions on like something like Bitcoin or somewhere else. Or if Binance chain became a layer 2, they would have to then send all of their transactions snapshots to Ethereum. But neither of those things are actually happening. Every layer 1 chain has its own consensus, its own decentralized system with many nodes, and it doesn't depend on other chains. So to answer the original question directly, a fork of a chain is not a layer 2 just because it's a copy. It's just a copy of the code that's open source with few other things added to it. In our case, we copied Phantom consensus mechanism, but we added proof of work verification to it. So Phantom always been
You added a Google verification to it.
A what? Proof of work.
You said a Google. What was that again?
It's a proof of work verification. So proof of work meaning that we have Xen blocks that people are mining, and Phantom code now has the Argon 2 algorithm that's getting verified or verifies all the hashes. So that's the main difference. So we're increasing the functionality of Phantom. I personally really like their consensus mechanism. That's why I chose Phantom as a fork. And it was a pretty simple decision, given that Xen has been pushed to 12 different EVM chains. Most of them have suffered. Some of them went down, except Phantom. Phantom actually survived really well. And then that caused me to really think, like, what is the difference in Phantom versus the others. And what I discovered is that the consensus mechanism actually allows for better, more parallel transaction execution and speed and cheaper fees, all of the above. And Avalanche was the number 2 choice, but Phantom definitely won just because they have very unique consensus system.
So, question for you: when you said the proof of work mechanics, that so the proof of work mechanics integrate specifically with the node? Does that integrate anyway on the X1 chain as far as executing the transaction? Or is that specifically just for the nodes to stake, and then the node is what interacts with the chains, the confirmed transactions?
So it's a kind of a complex question you're asking. The only thing that we did is we basically said we're using Argon to run hashing, and there's two sides to proof of work. One is that you search for a solution to a given problem by giving a difficulty variable, for example. So difficulty always rises, or sometimes it drops when the miners, whether they come or they go. Now,
yeah, I'm very familiar with it. Sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to ask: the miners are actually mining Xenium to stake for the nodes that actually validate the transactions on the X1 blockchain that utilizes Phantom, correct?
What the miners do, they produce hashes, and then the nodes actually verify those hashes, and they get yield in Xen native gas token for the work that they do. That's how it works.
So it doesn't have anything to do with utilizing any hashing algorithm on the X1 blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
yeah, of course, because how would you verify a hash if you actually didn't run a hash? So the miner produces a solution, and then the node needs to verify the solution, and not just one node. It needs to be a majority of the nodes, which we call a quorum. So a quorum of nodes verifies the proof of work and then assigns X and M to the miner that actually produced the hash.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with the X1. You're just mentioning it just being able to stake a node. But then, so far as the node, yes, it's going to go out there and validate the transaction on the X1 blockchain. So I don't see why Argon 2ID would even be applicable to X1. It doesn't act as a cryptography security layer, to be able to create better security on the blockchain.
So there's two types of security that we can discuss. One is technological security, and the other one is financial. So and there's like one other aspect that's very important. So the miners cannot fake the proof of work, which actually means that they have to exist, they have to produce the work, and you cannot just like do a Sybil attack and pretend to be a miner and produce a bunch of answers that are incorrect. You're just not gonna get any. You're just not gonna get any rewards. So, how does the chain get a TVL of any kind? Well, one way that the chain can get a TVL is you have to get some sort of other crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum. You have to convert it into the native coin of the chain, and then it shows up there, right? So, but you have to interact with other crypto to actually produce the TVL. Now, TVL on the chain, like X1 or any layer one, is actually what secures the chain. Like, why does it secure the chain? Well, because if there's no value on the chain and the validators and the nodes have no value to look forward to, it actually means that anybody can run any number of nodes and take over the chain because nothing is secured by the value. And so value is very, very important. And so in the traditional sense, when a layer one proof of stake blockchain comes up for the first time, it has no value. Like, it may have a very charismatic founder, well, like myself, obviously, but I can't just use my charisma to create the value. So what happens is the proof of work actually produces the value without touching any other crypto. And this is vitally important. Like, specifically, we do not need to ask people to buy crypto to create value on X1. We can actually have people mine that crypto, have very fair proof of work, pay for their miners, create the crypto out of thin air through the inflation. But of course, it's proof of work. So you spend your fiat, you spend your real dollars, you actually ended up paying to some sort of a GPU platform that creates crypto for you. Now, what you have done, you have encoded your proof of work into a token. And now that token has value because it's really linked to how much time you have spent mining and how many miners you actually have running. And it's a consortium of miners. There's many of them. They all competing with each other for the hashes. And so now we established the fact that you no longer need to buy somebody else's crypto. You can simply mine crypto with fiat and time and secure the X1 blockchain by sending value from the miner itself. Now, when the value appears on X1 can now be secured by the fact that if you stake that token, if you stake it, you do not want to lose it by doing something bad. Like specifically, if you run a validator that's malforming transactions or going offline all the time or doing something malicious like changing transactions, minting some free crypto for yourself, that layer 1 can actually take away your Xenium like from you, can slash you. And that is where the security is that first of all, you have spent the time and money and effort to mine something, then you're staking it, and you're bringing TVL to the chain that otherwise would have zero TVL. And so the security comes from the fact that you actually truly created crypto, just like Bitcoin, out of nowhere, and all you have done is participated in proof of work. So this is uniquely X1, and the uniqueness obviously comes from the fact that we don't have to shill the shit out of X1 and invite everybody like to sell their crypto for hours, where you can simply participate as a miner, create that value, have that value staked, get more rewards, and engage with the validators that will verify your hashes. So it works as a beautiful system where there's a group of miners that bring value, there's the validators that verify whether this value belongs to you, and everybody gets paid in the process.
All right, awesome. So here So let me just give you a quick synopsis. So the miners are algorithms. They're autonomous. They pretty much. I know you went into more of a technical explanation, but just to break it down and simplify for others is the miners are there to mine Xenium, which is then used to stake to get a node that acts as a consortium to validate the transactions on X1, correct?
Well, not only transactions. So the validators obviously do validate transactions 100%, but they also validate all the hashes that miners produce.
What was that? What was that last part again? Sorry, I didn't.
The validators validate all of the hashes that the miners have produced and allow people that are miners to create XNM, which is Xenium, for themselves. So the whole network, this decentralized network, actually looks at all of the cryptographic solutions and fairly, through the decentralized system, mints the XNM for all the miners. And the reason why miners get the XNM is because every hash that you produce actually is stamped with your own Ethereum style address. So you cannot just say that, hey, I actually produce more hashes and give me more Xenium, and the validator will say, no, we'll not give you any more XNM or Xenium, just because, look, here's all the hashes that are stamped with your address. That's what belongs to you. It doesn't belong to anyone else. It's no more and no less of the work you have done.
And how is that gonna? So you're saying that it's gonna have a 0x Ethereum wallet address? Can we knock off the sound effects? I appreciate you're a fan, but I just want to ask real questions.
Definitely not a fan of you, but definitely a fan of Cypher's Prime and the X1 blockchain that's being built.
Well, we'll appreciate it. Thank you. I'm asking questions.
Well, yeah, I also have
so before we go into more questions, is this Block 6 I'm talking to?
I don't know. He's changing up his PFP and
This is me.
so I don't know who's here.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to align my expectations with the the person that somebody told me about, and about your whole thing about the 0x address. And
this guy right here loves the
and listen, 0x address
Yeah,
topic, my favorite topic. So I would love to dive deep in it in terms of what the hell 0x address is. So what is 0x in your opinion?
Yeah, so 0x, yeah, that's the reason why. I don't know if you guys heard the space that I was on with Rome, but the thing is, I didn't want to get into spec. Yeah, I'm talking. Thank you, appreciate it. But I just wanted to. I didn't. I asked questions because I wanted the documentations before I make any speculation.
Bro, you've been speculating for a long time.
I listened to that space, and I took notes. And I'm sorry to say, but 95% of everything you said is utter bullshit. And I don't know what your intentions are, but whether it's to misinform the community or just like somehow to appear smarter, but everything that you said on that space is like 90% false, 95%.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here to speak. You haven't put out any documentation.
Bro, Block
so
6.
for you to go out here and say bullshit,
if this is
we don't
Block
have any
6,
documentation.
I believe Block 6. We've had numerous spaces on Sunday, and I think you've been there for the whole.
I didn't come on your space on
I don't
Sunday.
know where you've been, but you're changing PFPs and usernames, all kinds of stuff.
It doesn't matter. I can come in here any.
So listen.
Why are you getting argumentative? We're just having a discussion. Why are you so upset?
I'm not argumentative. I'm just pointing out facts.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's upset, Block 6. But here's the thing: if your intention is to FUD or appear smarter and basically mislead people into some sort of bullshit, you're just a bad actor. And everybody.
I'm not even a bad actor. I just basically came up here to ask specific questions when you guys say flooding. So anything that doesn't agree with you is considered flood.
I actually have
when there's no documentation on it.
I can speak because there's just a lot of noise going on. I'm trying to be more of a signal for people that are able to pick shit up. But anyways, Jack, I did have a question. I was actually in it felt like a hybrid space yesterday because Xen's launched on a lot of chains, and we actually launched on Pulse Chain. So I'm reluctant to say it was a hexagon space, but it was like a Xen space. It was like a Pulse. So anyways, it was a space and unrecorded space. And there's a couple different thoughts kicked around. One of them, and this might be a little bit of FUD, but I definitely want to ask the question. Is Argon 2 hashing and what we're doing with X1, is it in fact quantum resistant and still ASIC resistant? That's the first question. And then the second question would be, actually there's two more. But the second question would be, is X1 going to be a highly centralized chain? And then the third question was, and this is just my, I guess, it's a feeling, but a lot of people are maximalists of certain projects and certain people in those projects. One of them being Richard Hart in this case. Richard Hart was said to have care more about his users than you care about the Xen users. So I know there's a few questions there, but I just want to see if you can touch on those. A little bit of FUD.
Well, sure, that's fine. I love that sort of FUD. And so, I mean, it's when it comes to judgment of somebody's character, it's a difficult question, right? So does Richard Hart cares about the users or his users or whatever? I mean, like on one side, he produced a lot of very useful videos that I enjoyed watching, and I think he did a lot of good job for the education of crypto. That's like 100% true, and a lot of those videos are very inspiring and they're very educational, and most of them are true. On the other hand, in the last couple of years, he has chosen outrage marketing, what he calls, and he keeps taking his pants down, which I personally did not agree with how the founder should behave. But that's my personal view. And I have told many people that I don't agree with it. I think it's actually detrimental for community, and it will get a person in trouble, which he did get in trouble. So he got sued by SEC, and maybe that was the goal. But did it help the viability of Pulse Chain and Hex? I don't think it helped. And so, but again, like, it's different strokes for different folks. Everybody chooses to live the life that they prefer to live in. Like, who am I to judge? Like, I don't have to take my pants down to appear smarter or to attract attention, but that's just me. Like, what if it like works better for others? And so yeah, I mean, like, on the question whether he cares about the community or not, I mean, like, well, clearly he spent a lot of time talking about very useful things, so that's like definitely +1. Taking his pants down, talking about his pee and doing all kinds of like racist jokes, that's not very smart. I don't think that's helpful. So that's a -1. So that's kind of like my opinion on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that because speaking from my own perspective, I sacrificed everything like that for Pulse and was in Hex for a while, and I'm very glad that I pivoted over fully into Xen and got rid of all of my Hex, especially before it hit sub 1 cent levels, which is very great. But yeah, and then there's a couple other questions. Is just about X1, the quantum resistant, ASIC resistant, which I know Block 6 I think was spinning up some ASICs or something, trying to flex a little bit, but I don't know. That's why I ask about this quantum ASIC resistant and centralization thing.
If Block 6 wants to be taken seriously, he needs to join the space with his original name. That's like #1.
Yeah, we didn't know you were coming in here, so I just joined this little group here. So, like, besides all the name calling and all that, I just want to talk about more about the technical side.
So we're just trying to understand.
Yeah, thank you. We understand that you're pretty much social media influencer.
I understand what I understand, and you understand what you understand. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, with all these attacks, do you feel that I'm threatening your
intellect? If this is quantum resistant, and if it is ASIC resistant, especially when a guy like yourself might have lockers and lockers of ASICs. I don't know, but I'm trying to understand. So
yeah, that's why we're having an intelligent conversation here with Jack, right?
So Black, are you a doxed person? Do you have a name, or you do not have a name?
Yeah, I don't need to dox myself. I believe in decentralization.
Okay, so
that's one thing. I am doxed. I've developed many different technology over the space, but I would definitely.
He's really grooming.
Hey, Simple,
definitely would be happy to have a conversation with you.
Hey, Simple, let's get some order in here, dog. This is at the barbershop, and at the barbershop, everybody's willing to talk, but let's honor, let's do it with authority, and let's respect each other. Thank you, bro.
Well, the first thing about respect is not to disrespect.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll come in here on my main profile. I'll be back.
But the first thing about respect is not to disrespect, from my limited perspective. So I've been disrespected numerous times by this character, and it is what it is. I truly am trying to figure out about X1, where a lot of people are putting a lot of time and economic energy and passion into this project. I think no more than what Cypherus is doing, because he's spearheading it with his team, and I love FUD, but it's I'm just trying to understand about the chain.
I kind of wanted to hear about the whole OX thing. It kind of got glanced over, and I just that was just left in the dark from months ago, and I just kind of wanted some clarification on that since we got on that topic.
Well, some people are passionate about fighting, and it's all fun and games. I mean, but if your whole purview is just to FUD to appear to look smarter, and actually have other people be hella confused about what exactly that you're saying, and you're not actually bringing anything useful to the table except FUD, I mean, how is that you're useful in the long term? I don't see that like that's happening. But anyway, so like the 0x thing, and he'll probably come back, or yeah, there he is. He came back. So 0x, let's talk about that. So from the spaces that I have heard yesterday or the day before, I forget, Block 6, this entity here, said that basically if it's 0x, it has to be Ethereum. That is actually not the case. 0x address is generated within your client on your own computer or on your own device, whether it's a mobile device or a computer itself. And all it is a combination of the seed phrase, the private keys, and public keys. It has nothing to do with the blockchain, absolutely nothing. So the blockchain will read signed messages from your private key that is associated with your 0x address, and then decide whether you're the owner or you're not the owner. That is the only thing that the blockchain will do. Now, that has nothing to do with Ethereum. Ethereum has simply chosen the schema to put a 0 and X in front of a bunch of characters that are, whatever, 32 bytes in length, or characters in length. And it actually does not make it in Ethereum. It does not make all the chains that use the same schema layer 2s of Ethereum in any way. Because
Jack, that is incorrect. That thing uses ZRX that integrates with Ethereum. What you're telling people is you're gaslighting. It's incorrect.
No, I'm not gaslighting.
It is incorrect.
No,
Your
it is correct.
developers using UX to incorporate exchange functionalities in their application. It is based on ZRX. It's a Ethereum-based wallet address that you're using inside of this chain.
But listen to my words of what I'm saying. Just because you have an Ethereum style address, it doesn't make the chain that's using it a layer 2 of Ethereum. And that is a fact. And that is what I'm saying. So I'm not gaslighting. I actually spend 12 hours a day in code working with those schemas, and I understand them very, very deeply.
Yeah, but here's the answer. You're telling people that, and this is not fun, and we're just trying to get down to the nature of it. I'm just trying to actually understand. If you provide documentation, add value to it, like you guys said. Now, if my questions is coming across as FUD, and maybe I apologize. All I want to do is to better understand the mechanics of how this thing operates, to see if it is going to be something advantageous for Bitcoiners such as myself to be able to use this as an application for inscriptions.
When somebody says, and by the way, interrupts, and somebody preambles their statement that this is not FUD, 100% what comes after is FUD.
So, I was in the conversation that we were having, and to defend Block, when we were having the conversation, we had like the context of he was explaining his point of view of what he thought it was, and he did make some where he was like clarifying what is from his point of view. But at the end, like within the context of that conversation that me and Block was having, there was definitely an understanding that we don't know until the white paper comes out. So I understand that was like stuff that was made, but in Block's defense, there was a context where I stated a couple of times that me and Block are talking about like we don't know the process of the white paper and when it's come out. We don't know what it really is until the white paper come out. We were speculating.
Wait a second. I hear what you're saying, but the Ethereum style address has nothing to do with the white paper. It has nothing to do with the definition of what layer 2 is. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, perfect.
So let's be very, very clear. So, and again, if you're using 0x address, what I heard from that space is that Block 6 said that if you use that, you're actually, first of all, copied Ethereum, which is not true. And then you're layer 2 of Ethereum, and you're also centralized. None of those things are true. And so I would love Block 6 to explain and maybe stop talking about documentation, but exactly where you're getting those ideas.
Yeah, so when you're running your nodes, I see that you guys are out there. And this is all speculation. We don't know yet, right? Until we dig in deep.
No, we absolutely do know everything.
But you haven't produced any documents for us to actually look at.
Wait a second. Let's not talk about documentation. The code is open source. It's on the GitHub. You can go to the GitHub right now, and you can see exactly what that code is. And that code itself carries documentation.
Okay, so when we look at infrastructure, right? So here people are actually mining Xen blocks, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is running a Python script. You're using Argent2ID. And we're using that to be able to validate whatever, to be able to receive these cryptocurrencies, which we call Xenium. Xenium is used to...
Before we go any further, in any intelligent discussion or a discourse, we need to settle the points that are being brought up. So let's not move to the Xenium yet. Let's discuss 0x that you were so passionately describing to people how it is a layer 2. Now, I tell you that you're full of crap, and I say it lovingly because I think your intention is to mislead people. Now, prove me wrong that it is not the case.
No, I can prove you. I can prove you wrong because I can tell you that you integrate with Ethereum. Everything that you're doing is running off the EVM. There's nothing decentralized about this because you're hosting it on AWS. Second, you're a company that's registered in California, so you have reporting issues that you got to do with FinCEN. So you obviously are taking data and utilizing this, and this is not being transparent with the community.
Okay,
I can go
okay.
on and
Well,
on and on, but I mean, let's just be
no, let's.
realistic, Jack. You're
Why
not
don't
the
you
smartest person in here.
why don't you bring just a couple of points so that I can address them first? So like you don't have to unload all of the gibberish onto this conversation so that like I spend an hour talking about this. So give me a minute and let me explain to address some of your points. First of all, the company that I'm running is not registered in California. It's registered in Colorado. So that's like misconception number one. Now that tells me that you have done zero homework. Number two, we're not running in AWS. That's number two. That's 2 for 2 wrong. And what was that? Some sort of centralization? We
Yeah,
have
you're
like
running it on AWS, right?
no, I'm not running in AWS.
You are running it on AWS. I've seen it.
What did you see? You saw a website? A website running on
I've seen your
AWS?
websites. I've seen how you guys deployed all of the nodes, and you're using it to say that we have mass distribution of nodes across worldwide.
Okay, where's your proof? Like you have zero. You say it, and I hear you.
Yeah, like tell me how you have over like how many nodes that are on the network. I haven't checked in quite some time, but
There's
I
like
mean, like
there's like 500 nodes. Go look
how
it
many
up.
times and how many times have you changed X1? We went from like that's what I mean. It's like you changed it so many different times in the
Oh, you
beginning.
got your
Have you
homework,
not?
dog.
Let's not go on a tangent here. So
We're not
number
going on a
one,
tangent. We're just going off of what your history have
okay,
shown so far.
the history is very transparent. The code is open source. It has documentation. We're not running on AWS, and the company is not registered in California. So, dude, pretty much everything that's coming out of your mouth is
Zen World is not registered in California, LLC.
it's not registered in California. Zen World is literally not registered in California.
What about the decentralization thing? The third thing that because he's -2 already. Is it potentially -3 with the decentralization aspect? Are we centralized with X1?
Well, dude, I mean, like, Block 6, are you in any, like, we have two groups. Are you in those groups? Like, we actually have, like, multinational setup with nodes running, like, in every country with, like, bunch of nodes in Poland, bunch of nodes in Germany. This information is public. Like, literally, if you if you go to a webpage, the nodes webpage, there's, like, every country listed. And there's not even a single node that's running on AWS. Like, I don't know where are you pulling this information from? Like,
How are they running it? Are they running hardware nodes or how are they running it? Cloud, correct?
dude, I thought you knew everything. So why didn't you tell me how they're running?
We're asking you because you wanted to clarify me. You said that I'm wrong. So let's go ahead and get this in. Let's get this cleared up.
So, give me a node ID. I'll tell you where it's running.
Yeah. So majority of the nodes are running what? Cloud. And you're trying to tell me this decentralization. Second, you're utilizing all these web pages that are the front interface to be able to collect people's data. You can't tell me this stuff is decentralized.
So I got questions. I'm not telling people what it is and what it isn't. I have questions. So we're not running on AWS. Jack said that. I mean, now if it turns out to be other than that, then we'll handle that then. I'm asking questions. I'm not telling people what they know versus what they don't know. Jack, as far as right now, whatever you're running on that's equivalent to AWS, is it decentralized?
So first of all, when you say whatever you're running, we have
whatever we're running. I'm sorry, not specifically. Whatever we're running, whatever the blockchain is hosted on.
You're in TDX, aren't you, messing game? No, I'm just playing.
Bro, listen, I defended Jack for 3 fucking hours, bro. Like I deserve fucking answers.
Okay, listen. So there's like thousands of people in the community. They're running nodes everywhere. There's like Abo, there's Latitude. We're not telling people how to run nodes. Like some like nodes are running from like their basement. Like I don't fucking know, and I don't care. Like we're not telling people where to run their stuff. They just run their stuff and it runs. Like, and I don't have like a list of like everybody's addresses, because there's like way too many people that I don't even know by name or like what kind of systems they're running. Some people are running nodes on Macs. Some people are running nodes on Linux. I haven't heard anybody running on Windows. There were some miners running on Windows, but that's about it. So like, you tell me, is that decentralization when I don't know exactly how many nodes there are and where they're running? Like, I don't think I need to know.
Sounds decentralized to me.
And where's the main network of X1 running on?
What the hell is the main network? It's like
the main network X1. I mean, let's not try to be funny here. Let's be professional.
Yeah,
I mean, you're a professional gentleman, right? You worked at Google. Let's be professional.
Okay,
so explain to me where X1 is being hosted and where is it being run?
Dude, have you just listened to what I said in the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, he just said it, Block.
It's just like literally running everywhere. Like, are you like a coherent human being? And I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, but like, listen, like if you want to do FUD, like do it better.
Well,
there's no FUD. We're sitting here asking questions. You're being very unprofessional at this point by feeling like I'm threatening to attack you. If X1 is going to be the next best thing, prove to me that it's decentralized, that it has some mechanics like
fucking community, bro, is what you're doing. By
nobody gives a shit of what you got to say, Simple.
Bro, Block,
why don't you shut the fuck up?
You're
go sit your little, go sit your ass down real quick, bro. We're talking.
Bud.
Listen.
The bosses is talking right now. Sit down real quick.
Bud, bro, this isn't a fucking organizational structure, buddy. This is DeFi.
I'm talking to him. Ain't nobody talking to you, man. You're nobody, bro.
Okay.
Who are you?
You're slow. You're slow.
You're fucking nobody, man. Relax.
We're all nobody. We're all nobody, and I mean, ultimately, it's about what happens next, and whether we're like successful in our project and whatever, right? Like, and so, but anyway, Block 6. Listen, like, with all due respect, you just like said 3 things that are absolutely false. Where are you getting this information? Like before we even have a conversation further, we need to establish: are you like confused, or you're intentionally?
No, to be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of X1. I'm a fan of Xen, but I haven't really seen anything that actually attract me. The reason why I'm going to be honest with you is because I've seen many different tokens you deployed, and it hasn't really been advantageous for the community.
Let's talk
Second of all, I want to understand how the swapping mechanism works in X1.
What I want to understand is why you think I have a company registered in California.
Well, that's somebody sent me over a screenshot that actually where your company was registered out of. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll definitely look into it. But I feel like there's no need into it. Once a person establishes a company, it tells me that you have reporting obligations to the government. So there's a new law that passed here in 2024, which requires every company they have to report all their finances if you're registered in the United States.
The reports. So you're saying that if I run a company, I should file taxes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that everybody has to submit. Like if you're a company and anyone that transacts utilizing your specific blockchain has a reporting requirement to submit to FinCEN, which is the Financial Crime Enforcement Network.
Okay.
So,
that is the case if you're actually a monetary transmitter, which we're not. Because
that's applicable to everybody. That's it's applicable. I don't care if you sell T-shirts.
It's applicable to. Well, I mean, if you say that every company should file taxes, then I don't see there's anything wrong with that.
It's not filing taxes; is that you have to submit all the data, all your transactions that happen within your business to the government, which is FinCEN. That's a new reporting obligation at this point. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's applicable across the board.
Let's go back to basics. Why do you this? So you said that somebody told you that I have a company registered in California. So let's do that. So is my company registered in California? The answer is no. Can you prove otherwise? No.
Okay. I agree. Totally agree. But I think it's irrelevant at this point if it's registered in the U.S.
It's very relevant. In any Discord, discourse, we need to establish facts, and we need to establish somebody's intentions. So I'm here to establish your intentions, or maybe you can establish it yourself. So why don't we just do that? So what was the next thing? So the company.
So how are you hosting your block? Like obviously you just mentioned that everybody can run their own node. So let's get into like the mining mechanics. How is the mining running Xen blocks validating a transaction utilizing cryptography hash that integrates directly with your X1 blockchain that everyone thinks is decentralized?
Okay, but this is like going on a tangent. I would love to answer that question, but there's like a bunch of other
It's
things.
not a tangent, but it's like being real. So this is what I get from it, and this is simplifying it. I don't want to sit here and talk all these high-tech vocabulary where no one actually comprehends anything.
You're the one bringing up all the jargon, bro. I don't understand half the shit you say.
I'm not even arguing.
Shut the fuck up,
just the jargon.
I've got
Cleo, get your
questions when
fucking
Block's done.
cock out of his ass, bro.
Man, you're
the
actually a
fuck up,
distraction.
Simples.
You're
When-
actually
Block, I feel bad for you, bud. I feel bad for you.
Hey, guys, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna do it with order, honor, and authority. All right, brother. Let's do it, bro.
Man, look. If you guys consider FUD, if you can't,
go ahead, guys.
no, just saying, if you can't FUD a project, then you don't have a solid project. I mean, that's the whole reason why things need.
Bro, you're swerving, bro. You're swerving. Have you been drinking or what? Because you're not making any fucking sense.
Man, I like how you insinuate certain things. Like you like to assume things.
You gotta stay hydrated, is what I need to assume, because you sound fucking thirsty for attention or something with Mr. Cleo.
But hey, let me just put it out
I
there.
don't need attention. I came here in the alt account. You asked me to come in my main account. I did.
I have a question. Block 6. I have a question. Real question. So there was a space where you just kept talking about layer 2, how X1 is layer 2 and it settles on Ethereum. Did you or did you not say that?
Yeah, I did.
Right, Rome. I've got a comment I'd like to make. Simple.
Just wait your turn. Wait your turn. Wait your turn.
I'll make my turn. But tell
Leo,
Simple.
Go fuck yourself, Leo. Go fuck yourself.
Front run Levin.
Go
tell
fuck
me about
yourself.
the settlement agreement with OKM.
Hey, Ron, tell him that I'm ignoring him, and the only words that are coming out of my mouth is for him to go fuck himself.
No problem. Yeah, no, we won't let him up. Then we don't have time for that. At the barbershop, everybody's welcome, but we're not gonna handle the disrespect. All right. Thank you. Much love. Go ahead, Block.
So Block, go ahead.
No, I think realistically, yes, I did say it's L2, and if I did come off wrong, if I don't know exactly what it is, I would just like to look at it and probably take some time to disseminate the information, make sure it's done properly. But I don't know, all these personal attacks. I don't think it's just. We're just here trying to get more information. I've been more the technical guy in the Xen community, helping people. So,
dude, you're not technical. What the hell are you talking about? You're like literally everything that's coming out of your mouth is like.
Oh, so you're okay. All right, I think this conversation here is done. I think obviously you have your own intention.
No. Wait a second. You spend quite.
Yeah, I just can't deal with founders like you, bro. You like Jack, man. You come off unprofessional. What's up, man? Like, you're supposed to go out here and we're supposed to ask technical questions. You want to get aggressive. You want to get aggressive when I ask hard questions. The reality of it, what I've seen so far on the blockchain is that people are mining Xen blocks to be able to stake Xenium to hold a node. How many nodes are you running? You said that
you don't have to run a node to mine.
You don't know shit, man. Shut the fuck up.
I'm mining. You're over here speculating. What the fuck are you talking about, rookie?
I've been mining. What are you talking about? I've been mining Xen blocks. What are you talking about?
Block 6. You talked about layer 2. Go back to layer 2 and explain to the community right now why you said X1 is layer 2 and why it's selling on Ethereum. Just be very clear.
Okay, because I said it's using the wallet address as 0x that integrates with ZRX that typically runs on Ethereum.
Typically.
So you tell me how is all of these Xen, EXen, PXen, you name them, how are they going to actually get migrated over to X1? Are you using some type of atomic swap? Like what are the mechanics of how we're able to like move all this liquidity over to X1? And
Listen,
I know that the
I
mining has nothing to do with
I'm trying
X1 at
to have
all.
an intelligent conversation. I asked you a question, you're asking a question back to me. So are we gonna do this or not? Like literally, I asked you why you think layer two is X1. Like, can you please explain it to me?
You're using a fork off an existing code. Obviously, why would you do that? You're basically running code on top of a blockchain that already exists. When you run a fork, that's technically a L2. You can sit here and bring up all your technical reasons of why it's not a L2, but the reality it's a L2. I mean, it's a L2.
So
Like,
you're
and
saying
then
in your
you're
mind,
utilizing 0x. Like, why haven't you created your own code instead of you trying to
okay.
fork someone else's code?
So, so you're saying when somebody forks a project, they become a layer two of the first project. Is that what
Exactly. Just like people fork Bitcoin, they got BCH, you got BSV, you have many derivatives.
Okay, that's 100% false. There's no such thing as copying code and becoming a layer two of anything. A layer two is a consensus
Man,
mechanism.
Jack, you don't know what decentralization is, bro. I think you need to go back, man. Wherever you came from, Google, bro. I think you're just an infiltrator that worked for the WEF. I'm done.
WF, WF, like I work for what's his name, Mr. Schwab. Is that what you're saying?
This shit is crazy.
Dude,
Hey, the conversation's over. Homeboy left. That's kind of rude. I think that's not
so
acceptable.
anyway, I heard that guy before. I mean, he loves to FUD, which is fine, and I enjoy some entertaining FUD. But like when you literally confuse people by saying that a copy or a fork of the code makes your blockchain layer two, that's 100% false. That's not how it works. A layer two is a consensus mechanism. Has nothing to do with the code. Definitely has nothing to do with the zero in front of your address. And there's many examples like that. For example, Avalanche. Avalanche is a blockchain. Is a layer one blockchain that uses Ethereum style addressing. Has nothing to do with Ethereum. Like doesn't settle on Ethereum. Does not link to Ethereum. Has nothing to do with the bridge. The bridges themselves do not make chains layer two or layer one. Now, when we look at Base, Arbitrum, Optimism, they're obviously layer twos because they use a sequencer, they batch transactions, and they send all those transactions to Ethereum for settlement and immutability, as well as like they use the Ethereum's decentralization. But anyway, so I don't know what that guy's agenda is. I think everything he said is like absolutely false. The company isn't registered in California. The chain isn't centralized. It's not layer two, and pretty much everything else he said is like, I mean, like you have to be actually lucky to say so many non-truths in a period of 1 minute. It's like incredible. So I'm not gonna say that I'm shocked because I'm not really shocked by many things, but definitely like it's very easy to dismantle all of those arguments. It's just because like none of it is true. It's like literally like either he's dreaming or maybe he like wrote a document saying, okay, I am the agent of evil, WAF, full essentialized in my mom's basement, and I'm also mining everybody's Zen blocks. So anyway, let's move on.
Well, hey, I appreciate you for
Wait, wait,
clarifying some of that
one
stuff.
second. One second. Jack, I gotta be straight up with you, bro. The title of the room says "All Fudders are welcome," and Cleo's DMing me talking about really, but I have to honor you. You're the first man of the house. I honor you, bro. If you don't want to hear him, you don't gotta hear him.
I told Cleo that he's not welcome to speak to me at any time, at any day, whether
Okay.
it's FUD or whether it's love letters or anything. And I can explain why.
All right.
I can explain to everybody why my position is that way. And you know that I have had so much patience for that guy, so much patience. I have spent months and months and months conversing and doing spaces with Cleo and treating him as a regular, normal human being. It all stopped at the point where he photoshopped a lot of conversations where he was spreading non-truths on Twitter doing all those things, begging me to include DXN into X1 allocation so that his bag survives, and doing all kinds of like shitty behavior that I do not stand for, and I don't think anybody should stand for. In fact,
Yeah, don't have to waste your time anymore. I totally get it. There was a very special not a special, it's just a nice space yesterday, but it wasn't recorded. I wish it was. I don't want to regurgitate what was said, but basically, the title of the room was like Xen goes corporate, referring to the DAG, being that you're the king of the data, bro. You know you are, right? What are you doing with this data that we're gonna accumulate? Basically, they're calling you.
hey,
Go ahead.
it may or may not be a surprise, but actually, I was anonymous in that space. I heard everything.
Oh, cool. So yeah, let that out. Let that out. Let the people know that what's hot and what's not. That I mean, I don't know where you want to start, bro.
Sure. So what's the question? Am I evil? Is that the question?
Your body language, bro. What's up with your body language?
Yeah, your body language. You have no body language. They say that you're. They said you're Russian. They said you're Russian, and your last name is Yagov. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
let it out.
I am Russian. I'm also ridiculously good looking, and I think a lot of people are jealous.
Давай.
Yeah, but in truth, so there was some sort of a conversation about DAG versus a blockchain, how DAG is not a blockchain, and like, if the DAG is a blockchain, why not use the blockchain? Something ridiculous like that. So a DAG is a data structure. It's like literally like how you save files. The files themselves do not make it a corporate. It doesn't give it a corporate flavor, just like in the way that you save files. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I actually don't even know how to answer that question, because it's just like so not computer science. Like, you save a file and you're like, okay, I'm saving it in Excel, so I must love Microsoft because like Microsoft invented Excel. Or like what is like is a question. Like I don't even like know how to answer it.
So from their point of view, a DAG is a collection, like you said, it's a collection of data, and it collects data, and they're wondering what you're doing with that data. And since there is data to be collected, like how are you using that data, and is it centralized, or is it decentralized, or is it centralized because you're collecting data?
Okay, so first of all, I personally do not collect anybody's data. However, if you're running a blockchain or you're participating as a node in a blockchain, you get a copy of the whole blockchain. Doesn't mean you're collecting data. Well, it is on your node. Have you collected it in any way? Are you going to do anything with it? Well, it doesn't matter if you have a copy of the data, because the data still belongs assets, the digital assets, they belong to the end users, because the data does not share private keys. So yes, everybody have everybody's data. And in fact, you can join a Bitcoin blockchain today, get everybody's blocks, and that's it. Like, all of those transactions, all of that ledger is there, but you don't have any private keys, so you cannot spend anybody's money. That's like the blockchain 101. And it has nothing to do with how the data is stored. In fact, there's many different ways blockchain data goes into a hard drive. So like, for example, Bitcoin uses level DB to store data in a key value store database. Ethereum uses the same thing. There's many other blockchains that use different databases. For example, Phantom uses Pebble DB, and they're working on this other thing called Carmen DB, which is a little different. It's a little bit more efficient. Now, that's in a way of how the data is layered into a disk. It has nothing to do with anybody's collecting any data, because the security of data is secured by private keys that are held by the end users. So it doesn't matter what you call the data, whether it's DAG, whether it's blockchain, whether it's God knows what, as long as you do not have other people's private keys, the data, even though you have it, does not belong to you. Or in other words, you can see it, but you cannot act on it because you don't have keys.
In that space too, yesterday, I believe the host was saying that Xen is going to be dead after X1 launches. I personally didn't believe that because we're on all these chains, and if the burn is prolonged, like an extended burn, people are going to initiate more mints to be able to potentially burn for X1. Do you believe that Xen will still be alive after X1, and it won't die because X1's being launched?
So the motivation for anybody being in crypto is the value of what the crypto will provide. Like, for example, if nothing was worth anything, like, would we be in that space? Well, clearly not. And so there's several functions that gives value to anything. And whether it's a poop emoji, JPEG, or a monkey picture, or whatever, Pudgy Penguin, or any sort of a meme coin, or something that's like could be more useful, like Curve coin or whatever else. All of it is linked to the social consensus of value, whether that value actually people agree that whether it has value or not. Now, a lot of meme coins have value just because people love dogs. Like, there's like Doge, and it's been like number 3 or whatever, number 4 cryptocurrency. It doesn't do anything. It's just there and has value. So it doesn't matter how many blockchains launched after Doge. It still has value because it has community. So does Zen have growing community? I believe it does. I believe we have the best chance to grow even larger because we are the most fair crypto in the world since Bitcoin. Like, even Ethereum was pre-minted and pre-mined and then sold for Bitcoin, where Zen came into being through the effort of the community itself, with 400 lines of code that's immutable, has no admin keys. So I think it has a really, really cool story, and that story in itself has value. And it doesn't matter how many X1s or whatever blockchains come up after it, that value will not be diminished. Zen also has a function that diminishes its mint, so it has a disinflationary curve, which mimics Bitcoin. And so it has a very, very similar trajectory. It's a very, very similar story, but it has even more power because it exists on all the chains, or all the chains that are popular. And so I think it doesn't matter what we do, what kind of utility there will be for Zen. I think community will continue to grow, and the first principles itself will give this coin value. That's my view. And but who the hell knows? Like, we cannot predict the future. But I think the alignment with the first principles is a very, very strong positive contributor to value.
Yeah, I definitely I feel the same way, just as a participant as well. I mean, and then having those burns, who knows what that can do to value.
Yep. Well said, Jack. And just to add on to that, we can't predict the future, nor are we promising any financial gains. Shout out Gary Gensler.
Yeah, love Gary, especially very thankful for final ETF approval and getting crypto into mainstream. I think we're all benefiting from it. I think it's a big middle finger to fiat printers and to the governments out there that are basically implementing taxation through inflation, which is extremely not fair. Did you guys know that in 1913, I think I made a tweet about that. In 1913, like less than 3% of people pay taxes, like at all, and the tax was like 1%, and most of the tax actually was on the like goods sold and traded, like whiskey and alcohol. It was sweet, sweet time. I mean, of course, you would die without antibiotics and all that stuff. So, but still, like I don't think there's anybody in the world, given the choice, would pay taxes, especially if they don't know where the money is going. But the taxes itself is really not that big of an issue, as much as it is an issue where you have governments that's just printing value out of thin air and diminishing the assets of people in the country. I think it's really wrong the way that it is done. There's no accountability, and crypto is kind of like this, bringing this technological solution to the value being controlled in a decentralized way. And when I say controlled, there's really no control. There's just a social consensus. And I think like crypto like literally represents people's mass consciousness away from centralization of somebody else's agenda. And that's why I love crypto. And that's why I wanted to launch Xen, that actually mimics Bitcoin, but more approachable, where people can like end up mining it and minting it themselves without needing to, participate in the mining pools or whatever else. So there's like more flexibility in Ethereum, obviously, than Bitcoin. There's like, it's an evolving ecosystem where Bitcoin kind of like does not really want to change. Like all that drama with ordinals, I mean, it cracks me up, but like definitely Bitcoin is having somewhat of a renaissance with all of those ordinals and BRC20s, and people are building really cool stuff. So I really, really, really enjoy watching the drama, and I think it's actually positive for the space.
Hey, let's go to the hands. Tad, what's up, bro?
What up, dude? I just want to talk about the OX address thing. There's a ton of layer 1 projects out there, man, that have an OX address, and there's a lot of, I'm not going to name any names, but community or former community people that are in love with these said projects, right? And their BTC maxis. So it's like I don't understand why they're targeting Xen and picking on Xen for having an OX address with X1 or Xen blocks or whatever, but that argument is bogus and erroneous, because I mean there's layer 1s out there, you can find them very easily. And the whole shit with like, nothing is going to be as decentralized as Bitcoin, right? They're the first movers, the first shakers, the first inventors of the thing, if you even want to say that. Like, you can nitpick X1 and Xen blocks however you want. It's always going to be flawed. That's how things are, right? They're never going to be absolutely perfect. So to compare it to being as decentralized as something else is just, again, bogus. The room is called Fudders, but at the same time, you can't have people come in and FUD and just cause complete like chaos, right? Like, Cleo, I'm sorry, dude, but you don't have a conversation. You come and disrupt the room. Like, I appreciate the thought-provoking things you bring, but you can't have you on a panel if someone's trying to get answers and listen to a debate between two parties like Block and Jack. No, I appreciated that conversation. It was really interesting to hear. I like discourse, man. I like hearing healthy FUD, right? But when it starts, and Block speaks really well, but it also seems like maybe he might not be fully informed on everything on X1. Maybe he also just doesn't like certain aspects of the project, and that's totally fine. But I really appreciated listening to that, because it opened my eyes on a ton of things because people do whisper those things like, oh, it's not decentralized because of this. Oh, it's being hosted somewhere. And Jack comes on, he's like, actually, nah, that's false. And when you're like, hey, show me where'd you get that info? He's kind of like, oh, I heard it from somebody else. You're like, well, that's the problem right there. Right.
And that's a huge problem in our space.
To that, I had an actual point that, this whole thing with freaking taxes and stuff, right? And blockchain, crypto is the solution to finance. Crypto and finance for boomers is like what MFA is to security. They hate MFA. Like, oh my God, the process is so complicated. It's such a burden. It's so tedious. But it's a solution to getting hacked and having all your data stolen and all this other stuff, right? But they freaking hate crypto. But it's like, dude, crypto is a solution to all the bullshit happening in finance. But that's just my thoughts on what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
Go
ahead. Quick, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about DAG specifically and why I like DAG so much personally. So, in the history of the blockchain development, initially with Bitcoin, the concept came to be, which we call Nakamoto consensus. Nakamoto consensus is when you have a container, which we call a block, that has a particular limit in its size. Like specifically for Bitcoin, it used to be 1 megabyte, then it became 4 megabytes. With Ethereum, it's actually much smaller, and Ethereum measures the block size in gas. Like specifically for Ethereum, it's 30 million gas units within a single block. Now, in a traditional blockchain, every block points to another block, which is what we call a linked list. A linked list is a list of data elements that point in sequence from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and so on into infinity. Why the linked lists are so good? It actually makes the data structure extremely robust. Now, the reason why it's robust is because should you disrupt the middle of the data structure, it affects the rest of the connected nodes or connected blocks. And that ultimately how the immutability is created with a linked list. And that is what the Nakamoto consensus is. The block has limited space, whether it's gas or the actual byte size. Plus, it has the time frame when it has to be produced. In Bitcoin, it's it's minutes. It's like 10 minutes or whatever. With Ethereum, it's 12 to 15 seconds. And so what happens is like there's this time frame, and then you have this bidding auction situation where with Bitcoin you just bid with the satoshis with fees, and with Ethereum you bid based on how much Gwei and how much Ethereum you are required to pay to be included in the next block. If you bid too little, you will not be included, maybe for hours. If you bid above the average, then you will likely be included in the next block. This bidding war actually is what creates the cost of transactions to be very, very expensive. Like during the bull market, I remember I paid like $200 for a transaction, which was ridiculous. But otherwise, if I wouldn't pay that much, I would simply not be included in the block for hours or maybe until the next weekend. And the reason why this all happens is because the data structure is linear. It has limited space within the block, and it has a time frame of the block creation or emission. So with Bitcoin, it's 10 minutes. With Ethereum, it's about 12 seconds. Now, the major difference with DAG is that DAG actually does not have the sort of a concept of a block. It has a concept of transactions that are being observed by the nodes. So generally with Ethereum, the consensus mechanism has to receive a block from a validator that's acting as a block proposer or a block maker. So like it's a computer that receives all the transactions, puts them on a block, and then proposes that block to the rest of the network. The rest of the network will then vote on whether this block is accurate, and if the majority of the network agrees that it is, it will add that block to the rest of the blockchain. So that is how Ethereum works. The way that the Phantom works, or Phantom system works, is that every transaction is entered into the mempool, and it's observed by the network of nodes, and each node actually casts a vote on the transaction itself, building a DAG data structure. Now, the difference between the DAG data structure and the regular blockchain, which is a linked list, is that DAG is a multi-dimensional linked. It has many parents, and it has many leaves. And if somebody asks you what's a DAG and you want to like sound cool at the party, you can just say that a DAG is like a bunch of parallel blockchains created at the same time within a particular time frame, which actually allows for parallel execution. So like a linked list on Ethereum requires you to requires nodes to validate transactions in sequence. So a lot of people call it a single threaded execution, which is actually incorrect, but this concept kind of sticks. With DAG, you can have many transactions enter into a mempool. You also pay gas, but the way that the network observes your transactions, it actually attempts to build branches of the tree that get linked into a trunk of a tree. So a trunk of a tree is like a traditional blockchain. So like DAG system also has blocks, and each block has a number, and those numbers are sequential: 1, 2, 3, all the way into infinity. However, the construction of each block is like parallel blockchains that are packed together into a form of a tree, and they all move into in one direction. Like in other words, a parent can have 2 children, and those 2 children can have 2 more children. So now you have a couple of parallel branches, and it's all packed into a block. And so again, it's faster because any transaction that's hypothetically shows up in the middle of a block does not need to wait for other transactions to execute, because it just creates another branch. So it creates a parallel branch on an execution pathway, and that's how it's stored. Where in Ethereum, every transaction has to execute one after another, after another, after another. And on the DAG, it's like multiple branches grow like trees. So it's very organic that way, and actually that's what makes it so fast and ultimately so inexpensive. So because you actually do not need to wait and pay higher gas to be included, because chances are you will be included anyway.
Nice. Atticus had your hand up. Atticus, you still there?
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right.
Yeah, sorry, the moment kind of passed, but I mean, I'll say it anyways. Just so I kind of came in late on that exchange, but it's really telling when somebody that person in particular comes in a lot of spaces and throws around a lot of accusations about decentralization when they're talking to people who aren't really technically savvy. But the moment they have to go up against someone who can respond with the knowledge, there's like ad hominem attacks about WEF and you don't understand decentralization, and they talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. So I just think it's really telling. I hope people realize next time, like, that would have been a really good time to put it all on the table, and Jack could have responded, and I feel like it was a moment lost. But you'll see that individual going into other spaces when there's nobody in there to challenge him, making the same accusations. And it's kind of like, it reminds me of this zealotry. Like, you have these zealots, and like they're like, if you don't do it the way we conceptualize it, then it can't be right. And there's no room for this dynamic ecosystem that is evolving, that's trying to innovate. We all have the same goals, and I just feel like it shuts down debate. And then to just call people names ad hominem, like you're a grifter, you're drinking Kool-Aid, you don't know what decentralization is, and then to actually not take the moment to go against the person that you're saying doesn't understand it, to me is really telling. So anyways, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I even think, just even the space, I was listening before I, hopped up to ask a couple questions, but it's like, he's acting like there are different players in this game, obviously, and I don't think everyone's here to like learn and participate, at least from my understanding, at least like some of the OG Zenians that are here. But it's like, at a certain level, it's like your jargon and all that extra decentralization shit. I mean, Jack's here right now. Like, he's been pretty transparent with the community. I just don't get it. And then people are having these spaces and just like, Jack will give the answers of what's happening, and then they'll still, throw their FUD or whatever. But it's not even like, it has no ground to bring that FUD, unless it's misunderstanding, which maybe people just need to do more homework. But
it's a possibility. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to say I'm just glad we got some clarification out of that today. Sad that it went down that way, but some of those questions and topics we've been sitting on for months, and it just kind of really got ignored for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
the questions.
Let me just say, it's now. Oh yeah, you should have known. But when I go look up OX and blockchain, the default question or the answer to that for half of that page is Ethereum. So you can kind of see where the misinformation or confusion comes from, because when you go to that next layer, like Jack explained, that's something new that I learned that we could have known months ago, and this kind of wouldn't have been an issue. I mean, that narrative has been out there for a while, and now, now that we got the head popped and everything, we put a Band-Aid on it, it's over. I'm just glad we got more clarification now.
It's just starting, though. I think, and chain's not even launched yet, but it's just starting. There's gonna be a lot more fun, a lot more bullshit. But I think the part that really throws me off personally, and I think a lot of others, but I can speak for myself, is that like there's been plenty of conversations with Block 6. I think Jack and him have had plenty of conversations before in the past on how this shit's gonna be developed. There's obviously been a few changes throughout, the time, but I think, there's plenty of up-to-date information that's coming out from Jack himself, not from hearsay by other community members.
Yeah, and that's what we were trying to go for a while back. It's just we never really did line up at the right times for all these questions and didn't want to suck up all Jack's time. But I'm glad we getting through. All right, let me hush. I gotta go.
Dude, real quick.
Let's go to the hands. Go ahead.
I want to say something real quick on the DAG thing, because what's his face? Relaxing Dave Numbers. He shared that video from Richard Hart, right? And Richard Hart was like, "A DAG alone is not a blockchain." Da 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 da. I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's interesting. I was like, well, good thing Jack isn't just building a DAG alone, right? He's building an entire ecosystem. So I was like, oh, well, there's that. Fun fact, guys, it's not just a DAG. So we're good.
Go ahead, buddy.
Well, it is actually
Go ahead.
It is actually factually accurate. The DAG itself is not a blockchain; it's just a data structure. A blockchain includes, like a blockchain, a chain of blocks. Even a blockchain itself is not necessarily a decentralized system, because a single node can run a blockchain. Now, can we say it's a blockchain? Yes. Can we say it's decentralized? No. Is there immutable contracts? No. So it's really more complex than just calling it a blockchain or a DAG. A data structure itself does not make it into a system that actually follows first principles. Now, Numbers Dude, he just kept confusing the fact that, like, if you call something a blockchain or if you call something a DAG, it actually alters its necessary components of what the whole system is, which is actually what Richard said. He literally, on that video, he said that a DAG does not make anything a blockchain, but so is the blockchain itself doesn't make it a blockchain if you're running it on a single node. So it's not that complex. So anyway, my 2 cents.
And just to highlight,
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, everything that we're hearing right now, it's bear market activities, maybe the price performance of Xen or where X1 should be is not where people might want it to be. But just bear in mind, we spent for like the last 2 years, year and a half, whatever it is, in a bear market. We're getting into the bull market right now. Things will change, sentiment will change, negative perceptions possibly, hopefully will change. But let's just wait until we get the X1 white paper before we pass judgment. Because I like Block, I like Simple, I like Jack. We're all family here. Whether you're like a day one Xenian or like fucking yesterday Xenian. I'm using the word Xenian now. What the hell is going on? But anyway, let's just wait.
Numbers made that epic song. He made that epic song. Xen is gonna pump hard as fuck.
Yeah, but he's a Hexakin though.
Yeah, but still, let's wait until we get the white paper out. And this is for everyone down there in the chat down there. Let's just wait before we pass judgments or make accusations, please.
Sorry, can I throw one thing in quickly just before you get to Jack? Let's put it out there, because are you willing to debate Block and all your critics? Are you willing to go up against them if they have things to say about what you're doing? I'm sure you are, but let's hear it. And then next time we hear them complaining, we could just say, well, bring it to Jack and let's debate it out.
Dude, I am sad that Block 6 has left. I was gonna really get down to the 0x issue and all of those things. I mean, like, listen, I hear those guys very much emboldened talk about all kinds of things that are not true. Now, it could be malicious. It could be just they're misinformed. I'm not there, so I don't know. I just hear those things afterwards. Anybody who wants to debate, bring a question, bring concerns, I'm here to talk about it. I have no reason to somehow keep something not transparent. We have an open source project. Everything we do is right there. When we find bugs, we talk about them. When we run into issues, we engage community for help. I think that's a very, very healthy way to approach things so that we can build things together. I think education is part of it. I think misinformation, whether it's on purpose or somehow by accident, should be addressed, and I don't mind addressing it.
And I'm really happy that you came out to take the case in your hands and to explain everything to everyone, because after the latest spaces, I think everyone was so confused that they stopped believing what they already knew. Like, for example, that Avalanche is a blockchain. Numbers said that it isn't. Or that, what else? That this 0x thing, that if X1 uses Ethereum addresses, that means that it's based on Ethereum and that it's already a failed project because it won't scale, or that X1 is a layer 2. So when we have people like Block 6 who presented himself as working like someone with cryptography for government and things like that, and he speaks with such confidence in what he knows, it really confuses people. And if they, you know, you are an expert, but most people aren't. Most people learn from you, from other experts. So they start believing these things, and yeah, it creates only more confusion.
Well, everybody wants to be an expert. I mean, I haven't chosen to be an expert. I just been in the space for a while, and I just love building stuff. And again, like, I'd love to answer constructive FUD, because it brings kind of like puts us in check, and it puts us in check in many different ways. Like, are we communicating enough and clearly enough and simply enough for people to understand what we're saying, or maybe we're way too complex and something needs to change, or are we ignoring certain aspects of the ecosystem that we need to be addressing? And sometimes FUD actually creates this sort of like improves the alignment for the project. But sometimes FUD is actually toxic, where a person has an agenda, like they want to elevate themselves by shitting on others. This is what Twitter is, or X is, and I mean, unfortunately, it's like this pretty much in all aspects of life. Some people want to feel more elevated if they can take other people down, and that's the only way that they can, put a point on their scorecard. It is unfortunate. It is what it is. I mean, like, for me, it would be very, very clear, litmus test. If a father comes to talk to me and I ask them a question, if they believe if I'm an agent of World Economic Forum, if the answer is yes, well, that the conversation will be over, because it's not going to be serious. So that is my only requirement, is that if you want to bring FUD, you better be armed, and you should be armed with knowledge, and not some sort of like, hypothetical, imaginary, alternative reality that, like, no sane person can ever find themselves in.
Hell yeah. Todd, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna give you guys an example. I'm a guy who just seeks value, man, and a little bit of decentralization, but I'm not too worried about Skynet taking over and us having to live in the sewers and pay for shit in crypto. I'm just here for something that I think is gonna grow in value one day. And I like comparing stuff. There's a project out there called Kudos Token with a C, and they've dumped hella hard in the beginning, and now they're pumping hard as fuck after 2 years, and they're on Ethereum, but they're also on layer 1 and just launched their mainnet. So I see that garbage that's super centralized because they have VCs and backers and stuff. I'm like, if they can be super successful after 2 years and they're layer 1 and they have an ox address, I'm like, man, I think X1 is onto something, guys. I think we just might be onto something, and we might be a little bit more decentralized than that shit. So, yeah, I think we're gonna be okay.
Bro, we have fucking people mining blocks right now that have no economic USD value to it. The only value is securing the network and being able to provide value to the network when it launches. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think the value is social consensus. Like, mining Xen blocks is really just a very beautiful way that's fair. People understand that like nobody's able to front run anybody else. It's totally algorithmic. It's very, very kind of aligned with the Bitcoin principles and the original crypto principles. And it's also like this really amazing way to bring fiat into, like, turn it into crypto. Um, where, like, for example, with Zen, you mint Zen with gas and time. So the difficulty is, like, are you timing your gas properly? Are you starting your mints on a weekend to end on a weekend? How much time are you willing to wait? So those two variables is like difficulty. Where with Zen blocks, it's a lot more traditional. You're running a GPU. There's no way you can run an ASIC because Argon 2 algorithm is memory hard, and ASICs do not use a lot of memory because memory is a commodity. You cannot actually all of a sudden come up with cheaper memory. Memory is already as cheap as it can be. So it's like similar to gas or oil. You cannot just like all of a sudden make oil be worth less. So memory is the same way. So the point is that even if you have an ASIC that can execute faster, the biggest latency and difficulty is presented by the volume of memory input and output that the system needs to process. And like with GPUs, those systems or those cards obviously have like up to almost, like, I would say 80 gigabytes of video memory. And that's what makes it memory hard and GPU and ASIC resistant, because you cannot get an upper hand versus anybody else. And it's purely algorithmic. Like, no matter how much you try, you cannot change the algorithm, and you cannot change your hardware to run faster. So that's what makes it super fair. And I think having a hybrid solution for layer one, where you have your proof of stake, you have your delegated proof of stake. Like, in other words, you don't even need to run a node to make yield from the chain. You can just delegate your XN tokens to the validators, and they will create yield for you. They will get a little bit of a bonus pay for handling your delegation. And with Zen blocks, running a proof of work on chain that is validated by the nodes themselves is just, I think, extremely beautiful, because it brings value, it brings economic security, it brings TVL, and it also onboards a crap load of people that have all those video cards that used to mine Ethereum, and now they have nothing to do with those cards. Like, literally, like, I know guys that have thousands and thousands of GPUs in Asia, and they had them off since Ethereum moved to proof of stake. And now they can turn them back on and actually participate in mining and create crypto for themselves, which is really, really, really cool. Now, obviously, like, I remember Richard saying, hey, it's like everybody's going to dump it because they need to pay for electricity. But they already bought all of their GPUs. They already have all that stuff set up. So why not give them something to do? And also, like, the other thing, uh, Bitcoin does not have staking. Like, you cannot really like stake Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain and earn yield because there's no smart contracts there. But us having a hybrid, you can actually take your Zenium, you can stake it, and when you stake it, you can lock it up for like a year. So you remove yourself as an active potential seller, which will hurt the price, and you'll get rewards for it. And your rewards would be extra yield from the native gas token from the layer one itself for doing the TVL. Like, what is a TVL? Total value locked. Locked means for a period of time, whether it's 7 days or a year or a couple of years, whatever. The point is, it's locked, it's there, it's securing the chain, the value is clearly actively present. And this is something that X1 can basically show to the world and basically say, like, look, this is what we're doing. We have multiple onboarding mechanisms into the system. One of it is proof of work. The other one is creating Zen on 12 different chains. And there's various other ways to get into X1 in a fair way so that you can actually grow the system with real value. Because Zen has real value. It's linked to gas difficulty and it's linked to time. So You cannot just say that, oh, here's a meme coin and it's like somehow has value just because community loves it. We all have to work to produce Xen. Like we literally, like including me, like Xen started at 0. I had 0 Xen in my wallet, and I had to actually pay for gas and with my time to mint and mine or mint Xen like everyone else. And I think that's incredible. We're all in the same boat. We're all aligned with the same principles, and we're bringing value to the world through like this very traditional, very first principles ways of crypto production. So I think it's really awesome. I don't think anybody really has done it that way. Most of the layer ones, when they come online, they don't have any value, and that's like where the real difficulty is with the security of the chain. If there's no value, then well, how can you actually punish somebody by slashing their stake if they're misbehaving or their nodes are malfunctioning? So I think we're a really, really cool position for the next bull cycle, and I think we will do well. That is my hope. I'm certainly working towards that goal, and I'm hoping that we will do the right things and make the right decisions as the community and as the core team and everyone else. And of course, we want to have fun. We want to have value. We want to have fun. We want to learn. And I think it's an incredible journey. I'm just very thankful that things happened the way they happened.
We got a lot of hands, Jack. Crypto bro.
I won't jump the line. I'll let I seen Robert had his hand up in Web8.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you hear me, guys?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, perfect. Because I hear that you talk about all this IT stuff, and let's be honest, I'm not here to talk about 10 blocks. I'm here to make some action, to make this community a little bit more be in action. So the first thing, Jack, is like congrats that you do this mind thing. Like, sorry, I didn't use my English long time, but I remember it was the best moment in the market when the AI was growing up. So you start with this minting, so it was perfect moment to do this. So congrats. And the next question, yes, there is gonna be also it's gonna be the question. So yesterday I've been on the host, and then suddenly one guy came there, and he was like, "Let's try to imitate him. You motherfuckers, we have a lot of Xen. We're gonna dump it, motherfuckers." And and then all the hosters like they just closed the host. The host was gone. You say, wow, really? Like one guy destroyed one host, and he was really aggressive. Like, we have a lot of Xen. We're gonna dump it, motherfuckers. And just my question is like, if they bought the Xen, so then market up should increase, but actually they should mint the Xen if they want to dump it. So is it chance to dump it like that? The first question is from me.
Okay, well, certainly the dumping needs to be done very, very carefully. I mean, for the dumper. And you're absolutely right. Like, you can't just get a trillion or a couple of trillion Xen on a single day and decide to sell. You have to spread it over time, because that's how minting works. What's really sad about all those people that are like somehow trying to tell the rest of us that they're gonna sell it their whatever earliest opportunity and all that stuff. The sad fact is that every day those people are diluted. Like, Xen literally is built with an idea that the whales will be diluted based on everybody else getting into Xen ecosystem, because nobody's like a whale cannot stop somebody else to get into the ecosystem. And if the whale sells, well, hey, that's a single wallet actually selling to thousands of wallets, and Xen is hitting all the people out there and bringing its ethos to others. So I welcome all of those like whatever whales or people claim to be whales to actually distribute Xen out there for the greater population. it is certainly will be more positive for our metrics in terms of like how many people are holding Zen in their wallets. I think across all the different chains, we have like more than 500,000 wallets holding Zen right now. So we should like hit 1 million. We should hit 5 million. We should hit 10 million eventually. And but ultimately, like, hey, you know, if you minted Zen and you want to dump it, I mean, like, it's your prerogative. Like, it's like, if that's what you want to do, like, I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't do it and you should hodl it. If you're there for the money, by all means take the money and do whatever you want, you know, buy Pepe or buy something else that's more interesting to you, buy Bitcoin if you want to be conservative. My only issue is with people who are actively trying to like stick it into somebody's face and say, hey, I'm the biggest holder, I have power over you because I am smarter, I have more money, I minted more, I found some sort of a loophole. It's actually very sad that people act that way, but hey, I mean, like, we all have our little quirks, and it would be like, it is what it is, like, it happens. And so I think we're here for the long run. It's been longer than a year. I think it's been like 15-18 months since Zen launched. We have made incredible impact on the Ethereum ecosystem. We made Ethereum deflationary on October 8th of 2022. We're very proud of that fact. I think we will do more for the ecosystem, and we'll have fun doing it.
Hey, can I just add to that? So one other thing, I wouldn't discount the fact that those people are also maybe lying, and they would like nothing more for you to not mint more Zen and to not claim your Zen, and they would love for you to buy their Zen. So I would take it with a grain of salt that some of these people are playing games to try to make you lower your commitment and your belief so that you're not creating stuff that goes against their bag. So,
And to add on to that, don't listen to Jack's advice where he said to buy Pepe with your gains. Robert, you should subscribe to my OnlyFans. That's what you should do with your money.
You got an OnlyFans? Put the link in the nest.
Sorry guys, just last thing. Okay. Thank you, sir. So why I came here to this host, because I have to remind you that hype and marketing is also important. So hope you have something for bull run, because I'm prepared for it and I'm ready. So guys, we have to be focused on that, and sometimes be focused on marketing and hype. So I will try to do it, and we're gonna do our best, and I hope Jack gonna prepare something extra for us. So guys, all the best, kiss and love. Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you, Robert.
Hey, real quick, sorry to jump ship or jump ahead of anybody. Are we still on track for Q1?
So originally I said Q1, Q2, just like very broad target in terms of the delivery for the mainnet. And there's like few things in the works, obviously. So integration of proof of work, like, I had no idea proof of work would be a thing. Like, it was literally a weekend project, just blew up and took off. So clearly it's taking a little bit of time, and there's like so much positive engagement there, and also so positive for the mainnet, that obviously we have to integrate it and we have to do it properly. So there's that complexity. There's also complexity of OKX doing the thing that they did. You guys know what they did. We're working on resolving the situation, and hopefully it will be resolved soon. So, but it doesn't make things any simpler. Thirdly, we've been very transparent that we've been beating up the chain really, really hard, and we found some bugs. So we're working on those bugs being fixed. And we're continuing to work with the chain and beat it up. And we have over 400, 500 nodes currently participating. I think that's awesome, because usually, like, when the chain mainnet launches, they don't have any nodes. They only have the nodes that the core team would launch. But in our case, I think, like, I have a couple of nodes that I'm running on Latitude, and we had some other nodes, like also a couple. And the rest of it is just community nodes, which is like so great that we have this opportunity to have this giant set of nodes on the testnet testing the integration, beating up the chain, so that when mainnet launches, we actually have all of those things aligned, and we're going to have something really, really solid, a product that we can be proud of. I mean, I wouldn't say it is unfortunate that it takes time, because I think time spent wisely is a recipe for longevity, and we're here to stay for a long time. We're here to make an impact. We're not here to somehow, create some sort of a project, run it up to the high, and then dump it and disappear into the whatever sunset, or just disappear completely, and like nobody will ever think of X1. I wanted to be part of the Ethereum ecosystem and be there for a long time. And of course, like every decision that we make today will affect its longevity in the future. So that is why I'm really not that concerned about whether it's going to be Q1 or Q2, because I know exactly what's happening with the ecosystem, and all of it are extremely positive. And I've definitely been surprised on a positive side, just with Xen blocks and like what we could do with the chain and how many nodes we got so far. So I think things are moving in the right direction, and we will have a product that we'll be proud of.
Appreciate it.
Let's fucking go. All right. We got Crypto Bro. We got Hexy, Web8. All right. Crypto Bro, go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I was actually gonna strike a nerve with Jack because he's hitting on it right now. But like, it seems like a lot of conversation about what is a DAG and what is a blockchain. We usually get back to the argument of, is it decentralized or centralized, because it comes down to the consensus. And you kind of just touched on how like Xen blocks is a surprise for yourself of how much social consensus we've created, and we're just like crypto enthusiasts. But my question is, do you think social consensus could help decentralize the DAG, so then that way, if we were to, as like a community, like strategize this idea of like being a part of the chain, right? Almost as if like it's like joining a Facebook. Like everybody join Facebook. Oh, let's go to join Facebook. But like in crypto, it's really hard for people to join a chain. And I think that's something that's super special that we have going on right now is our social consensus is off the rip. Like you can feel it at this point. I mean,
Yo, and that dude before you came in here said that he doesn't know how we're gonna get it hype. Can you believe that guy?
Yeah, I think our social consensus is awesome, and I think, I mean, like, here's the thing: there's some founders that just believe in technology, and they say that, hey, if you build something that's faster than Ethereum, it's just gonna pump, it's gonna bring people. Like, if you build it, they will come. I actually don't believe in that. I think there's so many things that need to be aligned properly, and the number one, absolutely the most critical thing, is community. Like community. It's things that people can do together, can be better together than being separate and individual or being fragmented. And that is why I have spent like so much time like on YouTube, like talking about things and brainstorming together with the community, and also learning a lot of interesting things. Like we started this whole project even before ordinals existed, before bitmaps. We had so much fun with those things. Like literally, we're part of the co-creation of crypto itself. It is incredible, and I think this is what the community stands for: is that we're learning together, we're learning to create value, we're being positive, we're doing very new and interesting and experimental things, and that is what our strength is. Now, going back to DAG and the data structures and centralization or decentralization, I want to reiterate that the data structure itself and how the data is stored and how consensus mechanism works actually has very little to do with decentralization. Decentralization comes from a fact that you have loosely connected individuals in the community, like a lot of you guys, and like I'm doxxed obviously, but a lot of you guys are not doxxed. Like we do not know who you are, and we really don't care. You're just there, and we have your virtual representation of who you are, and that's good enough. The point is that if if we have a community and people are participating by bringing nodes online, like whether it's in the United States or in Europe, and we have like shitload of people in Asia, like they all speak Mandarin, like we don't understand anything what they're saying. They have their own group. There are thousands of people there that are running nodes. It's crazy cool and crazy good. And so decentralization comes from the fact is that you're running an algorithm that votes on transactions validity, and everybody agrees that this is the algorithm to use. And we have the value consensus based on the value of the token, and we have the social consensus. Like, in other words, we are aligned on our principles. We want to do things, and we're bringing projects in, and we're talking about interesting things, having spaces like we're having today. All in itself is what makes the system decentralized and secured by the technological elements of cryptography. Like that's all there is. And like when we say DAG or blockchain, again, a blockchain is just a linked list. It's just a bunch of blocks that points to each other in sequence. A DAG is a tree, but in itself, it's just data. How you validate that data and come up with consensus has nothing to do with centralization or not. Like, again, like I can run a copy of Ethereum in my mom's basement and call it the blockchain. Is it decentralized? Is it immutable? No, because I have no community. I have no network. There's no peer-to-peer of anything. But it is a blockchain, right? I mean, because it's just a bunch of blocks point to each other. So again, like the data structure has nothing to do with the actual consensus mechanism. Consensus comes from all of those things that I just mentioned working together in concert.
Nice, well said. Web8, then we got Hexy.
Hi guys. Hope you can hear me all right.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect. No, we don't hear you perfect at all. You're on mute, maybe, Web8.
Hello, you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Hi, Jack. Thanks for sharing the spaces with us. I just want to ask you about the potential challenges there in terms of like a reduction in volume transactions may make it vulnerable to attacks. So to mitigate against these risks, DAG projects often have included centralizing features such as central coordinators, pre-selected validator, or witness nodes, or complete private networks. So DAG so far have not been able to sustain high levels of decentralization. Could you please speak to those features? Thanks.
Sure. So that was the question of how we're gonna ensure decentralization for the DAG. So I spent quite a bit of time in the Solana ecosystem, and I dove into their source code and really understood how their consensus works. What makes them faster? What makes them more adaptable than any other blockchain out there? And what we're doing with Phantom, which is a DAG system, again, the DAG is just a data structure. It has nothing to do with the consensus cohesiveness or anything like that. It doesn't make it more centralized, less decentralized. But what I'm trying to do is I am working on an algorithm that implements Solana-like validator selection, where the blockchain will select a subcommittee of nodes that will work together extremely fast to validate transactions within a short period of time, and then switch over to the other committee. So like, let's say that we have 1,000 nodes. Generally, if you have 1,000 nodes, the traditional way the consensus would work is that 2/3 of those nodes have to agree that the transactions are valid. The problem with that approach is that the larger your network becomes, the slower the consensus will be, because there's simply more moving parts that are trying to work together. So 2/3 of 1,000 nodes, that's, well, 667 nodes, right? What if you had 10,000 nodes? Like, why would we stop at 1,000? Like, we shouldn't like really reject the fact that there may be more nodes. So again, the problem is that the more nodes you got, the slower the consensus becomes. So the proper way to solve this, and I actually have a write-up about this on Reddit. Um, what you do is you create a rotating algorithm of subcommittees within the scope of the number of nodes you have on the network, where there's a there's a choice or a segment of nodes, like for example 10 nodes, 5 nodes, 21 nodes, doesn't matter how many. The point is it's not all of them, but they are rapidly chosen to work together to validate transactions, and then they are removed from the committee and the other nodes are chosen. And the network just continues to rotate the nodes for validation of transactions. So imagine having unlimited number of nodes, but having the subcommittees continuously being rotated in and out. So it's like having many blockchains working together, except the choice is done like every like several blocks. So this is how Solana achieves its speed. They have this concept of I would call asynchronous consensus. They do not need to wait for all of the nodes to check in. There's a leader. That leader is a single node. It validates all of the transactions, proposes a block, which they call a slot or a group of slots, and then the other nodes on the network vote for what they produce. So it actually makes it very, very fast, because the block production relies on the vote submission and not the reprocessing of transactions, basically. And so the way that I want to implement it into X1 is that I want to use the DAG system, or DAG data representation, where a segment of nodes, like let's say 11 nodes, work together to produce a bunch of blocks, and then they are rotated out, and then another section of 11 come in. The benefit here is that you have a random, rapid succession of subcommittees that actually produce consensus for the block creation that other nodes will ultimately validate. So the validation will definitely happen and will be accurate, but the whole network does not need to be exposed to the transaction processing, because otherwise it would be slow. So that is why like the traditional blockchains end up being slower with the number of nodes growing. They call it an algorithmic complexity of, for example, ON squared, basically, or ON to the third. N is the number of blocks, and if you square it, like if you have 10 nodes, you square it as 100. But if you have 100 times 100 is 10,000, right? So the difference between 100 and 10,000 is a square, basically. It's a big difference. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to achieve the complexity of ON, linear complexity. In other words, it doesn't matter how many nodes you add to the blockchain, the algorithm will select the subcommittee that will vote on the transactions, create the blocks, and have the rest of the network verified without actually blocking anything. So I don't know. It's kind of like I went deep into the tech, but hopefully it explains it.
Beautiful.
Blockchain lottery.
All right, we're gonna go to these two hands, and I gotta lock this down. I gotta go see my little boy. Hexy, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, Jack. I have
Hi.
I have a question specifically about the bridge, and mainly concerning these two questions. Are you still planning on using VMPX as like a bridge token to earn yield? And is there going to be a public testnet soon for this bridge?
So we haven't done the bridge yet. We're looking at various different solutions, what to do with it. VMPX will definitely be included in the auctions for Xen creation, as I mentioned before. So in terms of a bridge, we definitely need to stabilize the mainnet with integration of Xen blocks first, and then we'll go in. That area. But what I want to assure everyone that not a single asset will be excluded from the creation of Xen token for the mainnet, including VMPX.
So it might not be utilized in the bridge itself, but definitely will get Xen allocation. You're saying?
I can give with 100% certainty that VMPX will receive fair allocation, as well as every other token that's part of the Xen ecosystem.
So like Buffy and some of the other ones, like Zuni and stuff, or no?
I think my exact language were all and include all. The difficulty with naming anything is that somebody will hear one and not the other, and it will affect the market. So I have to stick with the proper language, meaning all means all. So whatever your interpretation of all is, that's what I mean.
Hey Jack, any news on Schrodinger's cat? I guess you can't put anything out on that.
Dude, if I saw the Schrodinger cat, it wouldn't be a Schrodinger cat anymore, right? So, yeah, no, nothing specific there. I mean, like, I am surprised that the token actually is doing what it's doing, in the way that it was launched. I think it has interesting value built into it, and like sometimes people report saying, "Hey, XEON is actually pumping." I'm like, "Wow, that's actually incredible. That's this is happening." But again, like, we told community that all tokens will be part of the Xen X1 ecosystem development. So it will be used one way or the other for the creation of Xen through auctions and basically fair engagement.
We got I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nicole?
Yeah. What's up, Rom? Thank you. Hi, Jack. Hi, Jack. Hi, Simple. Good to see you, buddy. Crypto bro. I have a question. I was listening to Bankless, and I know you listened to them. I don't know if you've listened to the more recent one, where they were interviewing one of the devs, is it Bitcoin devs, and he spoke about the possibility of rollups on Bitcoin. Are you in your development of our ecosystem and the tech, and is it X1? Are you taking that into account? Are you possibly looking at integration with that, or it's not something you're concerned with? Then the second one is I listened also to Coin Bureau today, talking about Near Protocol. To what extent have you taken some of the novel ideas in that particular system when developing X1? Thank you.
So I haven't heard much about Near Protocol, but I'll definitely take a listen today after we're done here. In terms of rollups for Bitcoin, I mean, like, obviously we have a lot of Bitcoin or community Bitcoin assets out there, like VMPX and various others. So we're very keen on attempting to integrate Bitcoin rollups into X1. And like originally, I think when like a couple of months ago when we were talking about X1, we really wanted to have an ability to trade BRC20 assets from Bitcoin. And we are continuously researching of how to do it in the best possible way. So definitely, we're looking at the roll-up possibility. And again, like the roll-up stuff, the system that I worked with called a roll kit, and the roll kit allows you to integrate into a Bitcoin ecosystem by basically using an EVM. So you can have an EVM application layer that's sitting on top of a roll kit that will roll in all of your EVM stuff into Bitcoin. So it's definitely very, very interesting. And I totally see the future on X1 to do something with that. I also wanted to, and I know that we're closing down soon, so I want to mention something that nobody really asked me about, but I think is very key and very important. So one of the new interesting strategies to build TVL, to create this a TVL engine, is to create liquid staking. So in other words, we had some ideas of how you can stake Ethereum, or you can stake BNB, or stake Matic, or stake FTM, or any other token, native token on any other blockchain. You stake it into a contract, then you get the yield on your native token, and you also get the yield on XN. So the reason why it's great is because it's one of the safest ways to get X1 token without needing to burn anything. And here's why it's important. When you burn something, it is gone permanently. And a lot of people will have a question in their mind. Should they be selling Xen, potentially hodling Xen, or burning Xen for X1? Those will be three questions. And for people who are coming into the ecosystem from somewhere else, we really want to give people an option to stake a native coin like Ethereum into a smart contract, possibly lock it for yield or lock it for amplification, so that you can get the yield from the native coin itself plus the XN distribution. Now, the reason why it's useful is because the people who are on the fence and who are not necessarily Xen buyers or do not want to sell their Xen should be able to stake their assets and generate yield in XN right on the Ethereum, which will generally have an effect of creating a large TVL on multitude of blockchains. And we have 12 of them, right? So everywhere where we are with Xen, we can actually start creating TVL that is linking to X1, which is very, very key for the metrics that people pay attention to. And you guys probably heard of Blast. So Blast currently been up for like 3 months or maybe 2.5 months, 1.8 billion in Ethereum TVL. Absolutely staggering. The only thing is they do not even have a product. They only have the staking engine that creates yield from Ethereum, and it assigns points for a future airdrop, and no product at all. And so $1.8 billion TVL on Blast, crazy, but that's crypto. So looking at all that and looking at the TVL generator, so to speak, or a possibility to generate a large TVL, I think is extremely healthy metric for the ecosystem moving forward. And it also captures all the people who are somewhere in the middle ground, where they don't want to buy Xen, they don't want to sell Xen, and they don't want to burn Xen, but yet they want to participate. So that is one way we can onboard the rest of the participants with almost zero risk.
What's up with Aragon layer?
Argon layer?
Yeah. Is that what you promoted? You put it out there for us to look at?
The Aragon.
Aragon layer.
Eigen layer.
Yeah.
Eigen
Thank
layer. Eigen layer. So this is actually comes into the liquid staking protocol, which I just explained. So you take your Ethereum, you stake it, and the smart contract creates yield from Ethereum, also gives you yield in XN, and also mints a token we will call XETH, so like Zeth or XETH. That is a liquid staking token that in the future you should be able to stake into places like Eigenlayer, which basically means that liquid staking, you earn yield on your native asset. You get a liquid staking token that you could also stake for further yield somewhere else. So you're making not like 3.5% on Ethereum, you can actually make maybe 7%, because you have your Ethereum that's staked, that's native. You have your liquid staking token that's issued to you by the smart contract, which you can further restake somewhere else. So this is how Lido works. If you guys want to learn more about this, you will know that in Lido, you can deposit ETH, they give you STETH, and you can take that STETH and stake it somewhere else for even more yield. And so this is very useful because it's like having a receipt for your stake, and it's liquid. You can sell it, you can buy it, you can stake it, you can do whatever you want with it. But when it comes to time to unstake your original Ethereum, you have to have your corresponding liquid staking or liquid XETH or XETH to unlock your stake. Otherwise, you can't unlock it. So anyway, Cardano does it, Lido does it, and there's like various other places do it. Like Curve Finance also do it. Like when you create a pool, they give you this token called CRV, which you can stake and lock for what they call a yield boost. So we're working on a system conceptually to do the same thing for Xen generation as well as the native yield generation.
This is a big deal, guys. So in case you're not tracking, this is going to bring a lot of liquidity, because imagine you have whales out there who's sitting on a boatload of ETH or whatever it is. We're incentivizing them to park it on our chain. So this is a big deal.
Well, I mean, it's
Right.
like crypto big though. Like the whole crypto nation staking Ethereum is like impacting the world, because I think that's one of the coolest part of this whole layer idea is it's keeping the crypto inside of crypto, where most of our practices have always been getting a gain and then dumping the coin after you're done with it. In this instance, it's like, how does ETH attract more people to keep their ETH? And that this layer is such a special thing, I think, to the ecosystem of all crypto, to kind of solve that problem of how do we go cross-chain but have liquidity on the other side. So
Right. So this is what EigenLayer is trying to solve. It's like having virtual staking. So you stake your native currency, cryptocurrency on Ethereum, but it's actually further gets staked somewhere else on multitude of chains. And so for us, I think it is a huge deal, Buddy-san. I think you're absolutely right. It's a very traditional way, if there's anything traditional in crypto, but it's a very kind of like easy way to wrap your head around. You know it's safe. The contract obviously is going to be audited. You still have custody of your coins because only you can unlock it. And yet you're making all the yield and you're generating XN by literally passively staking, which I think is awesome.
Let's go to state proof. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, sorry, I'm just in two different spaces and doing my taxes and eating, so I'll try to be quick. So you talked about Blast, and I think we saw like fair mint. There's a bunch of narratives right now, right? I think this cycle, the biggest narratives will be Bitcoin L2s. We see Merlin chain. I think they're locking in 4 billion in liquidity. So I definitely agree with your Blast thing, with your Blast comment. We see AI narrative, and I don't know if the fair mint narrative in this cycle will be big. I think it was big for Caspa. Are you guys thinking about like the marketing, or is it too early side of things in terms of like which narrative is going to be most prominent for us? Because there's so much, right? We're faster Solana, we're fair mint. There's Bitcoin L2 narratives that are collecting $4 billion in like a week. Are you guys thinking about that at all?
Well, we're thinking about everything, obviously, but I think the really big plus, what's happening in this ecosystem, is that we have our grabby fingers in every blockchain out there. It's like 12 different blockchains in the EVM world, plus Bitcoin. So, I mean, like some people said that it's a really bad idea to be spread like that, but I think ultimately, if it brings the community into X1 that actually does use the best EVM, challenges Solana, also has a potential to onboard all of the Solidity developers that Solana can't technically onboard. I think we're positioned really well in marketing. And also, like, if you look at the block explorers everywhere, we're like number 1, 2, and 3 token for a year on top. Like literally just go to the resources and the data charts, click on tokens, click on like 3 or 7 days, and you will see that we are right in between stable coins. We are that popular. Every chain we're on, we are in top 3 coins on that chain. On Phantom, I think we have like 900,000 addresses in activity, where the next one is only 100,000. So we're like 9x greater of all action on Phantom. And so is on Polygon too. So I think like when it comes to marketing, I think we really did a good job being in everybody's faces, and obviously, I mean, we did annoy a lot of people,
Tell
but
them the
it is what
truth.
it
Tell them the
is.
truth. We just getting started. We haven't even fucking gotten started, bro.
Yeah, it's been a first year, and it's been an incredible year. Incredible year for community growth, for development, for technology, and all the things we learned together, and all the value that we created. And I think there's more things to come, and I'm super psyched.
Jack, keep
Fuck
it
yeah.
tech, bro. We
Fuck
are
yeah.
making meaningful work here in the Xen ecosystem. Things that we do mean things, and you can see those meanings all across all blockchains. They're everywhere. People can talk all the mess they want, but why does Xen mean something? Please let me know. Oh wait, it's technology. Meaningful work always shines. Let's get it, y'all.
Very good space, bro. Very good space. Thank you for stopping by, Sephiroth Prime, bros. You're amazing. You're the reason why we're here. You gave us aspire to inspire others. From the motherfucking barbershop to everybody under the sound of my voice. It's been a nice space. Cleo, you heard him. Go fuck yourself, buddy. All right, stop
Hey,
fucking
block
DMing me.
6 too. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, he left the room. I can go
Yeah, but
say
he can
that to
play it
him.
back. I'm saying it.
Yeah. Nah.
and we say it lovingly. I mean, clearly it is a strong statement, but sometimes you have to be strong, because enough is enough, and we need to be like, we don't have to like be nasty and disregard people and attack people personally, but when certain things cross the line and people are unwilling to stand and stand behind their own FUD, I do not respect people like that. So those people need to get their head straight, get educated, get better, and ultimately, eventually, they will be welcome back. It's not like we're like censoring or excluding. I just don't want the disruption based for the sake of disruption, just because somebody wants to make a name for themselves of shitting on a project just because they can. So it's ridiculous.
Hell yeah. Well, I welcomed all the fudders. We answered all the questions. So you know what? From this day forward, brothers, we got to get some new FUD or don't come at all. If you ain't coming with the right FUD, don't even come at all.
We need meaningful FUD. Meaningful.
Yeah. Let's talk about some shit that matters.
Yeah, bring the FUD that will make us all better. And if you don't bring that sort of a FUD, if you just want to mess things up and confuse people, you're not welcome. But all other FUD, critical thinking is welcome in this community. So, and I will always be there to answer those type of things.
Let's go. Thank you for your time, Jack. You're amazing, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
Respect.
Thank you, everyone.
Later.
Have a good one.
You heard it first.
Thank you, Rome.
You heard it first. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it open. I'm gonna keep it open. But go ahead. We're good. I got a few more minutes. Yeah. I've gotten a lot of DMs. Go ahead.
I think block means well. It's just a little bit of just ignorance to the info, and then a little bit of Bitcoin maximalism going on with him. But I like block, dude.
I'm sorry, guys. Was the
I'll get deep with it. We post quantum now, y'all.
Guys, was the conversation?
Y'all are starting to witness and realize things that you never thought about.
I ask a quick question.
Yeah, was the conversation with Block recorded? So I could.
Oh yeah, definitely recorded. He got served.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna step down. Thanks.
Yeah. And then we'll all get served and we'll have dinner or something.
Is it okay if I would ask a question to Jack before he goes?
Yeah, go ahead. Let it out. If he's still there, he'll answer it.
Yeah.
I apologize. I know you had your hand up, dude.
No worries. I was just thinking maybe you were rushing out. Jack, a very quick one. Two things. One is there's been a bit of noise around pin sentry nodes. I don't know if you've had a look at those. Apparently, there's something novel they've done with their nodes, and some of them I think are being done as NFTs. But some groups, some projects are taking that the way they've done it. I think it's novel from what I've heard. I don't know if you've had a look at that. The second one is I hear that Near Protocol had an AI focus, and they seem to be going in that direction. I've seen you talk about AI. Does X1 have that element of it as well? Just checking.
So I can only comment about AI, and then I have to go because I do have a couple of things to do. So the AI in X1, like, what does it mean? So there's two initiatives. You know how I talked about the validator block producer selection, like specifically how to choose the subcommittee of validators that produce the blocks. So there's this thing in AI called RNN, Recurring Neural Network Engine, and I worked with it before. And what this does, it's really it's alternative to generative AI that we know, like how ChatGPT works, and how like the images are being drawn with various systems out there, like Stable Diffusion, stuff like that. So RNN is more of a traditional original neural network that can be fed data and information on the node performance, like specifically like geographic location, how quickly those nodes can produce the blocks or process the blocks. And it's a predictive network that will allow the kind of like this AI system to select who is coming next to validate the blocks. So it's a very, very interesting area of research that can augment the decision making of the subcommittee selection for block validation. Now, that's the number one initiative. Number two initiative is that obviously with Argon 2 GPU hashing, we have plenty of GPU power out there, and people are hashing those XNM coins. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce a concept where you can bring your rig online and actually receive a job to do like a render or some sort of an AI experiment, and for XNM, where should there be a client, for example, that wants to borrow your GPU power, they'll have to acquire XNM first and then pay you for the tasks that they give you. So this is not dissimilar to mining. So like when you mine, you just come up with a cryptographic solution and use the same GPUs, like NVIDIA, for example. But when you run a task of whether Stable Diffusion or any sort of like a generative AI training protocol or something like that, you should be able to receive the same XNM tokens and actually lend the GPU compute power to the marketplace out there. So that's like another idea how to integrate AI within X1.
XNN, Xen Neural Network, patents pending.
Right. Yeah. I don't like patents. I am very much on board with Elon. I think Elon of Tesla has like hundreds of patents. And all of those patents are, he basically does not collect any money from it. So I think it's a good thing to do. It's good for the world. And I think people should read the patent database, come up with better ideas, and not be worried that they're going to get slammed with a lawsuit.
Is that the same logo X that belongs to us, sir? On that
same
tweet?
Logo. I mean, everything belongs to us. So we're all participants in all of it.
I fucking love it, brother. They don't believe, bro. They don't fucking believe. None of these motherfuckers do it. It's okay though. Yes.
Believe isn't required. So
nor is it. Hey, I'm putting in the work though.
So hot.
I'm putting in the work, bro. I believed first.
Prove it.
Didn't have a fucking computer. All right. And didn't have a computer. Bought my fucking laptop and vast AI'd my ass, and I'm letting it rip right now, bro.
Yeah, you're a Mac.
Letting
You're
it
a Mac.
motherfucking rip.
You're a Mac.
Jack, last question, Jack. Last question.
Wait, I got my hand up. I'm I wanted him to address Block 6's comment at the bottom. Block 6 left a comment. He says he's running everything through his server where everyone is connecting to his RPC. I just wanted to for you to address that before you dipped out.
Where can I see that
Oh,
comment?
in the bottom chat bubble. Or you can go to his profile on the replies.
Okay, hold on. I'm opening the bottom chat bubble. I'm scrolling down. Okay, so let me read to see what he says. So he says he is running everything through his server where everyone is connecting to his RPC. I can't waste my time on centralized systems that are not sustainable long term. People will remember this tweet. So he's not being very clear in terms of exactly what the RPC is. Now, every node on our network has an RPC system, and anybody can open their RPC port. And as I mentioned to him before, we have over 400 nodes around the world that can do all that. So I'm not really certain what he means by an RPC. If he's talking about specifically Xen blocks, he did mention something about Python. So that system has evolved like a couple of months ago. It's no longer Python. It's actually C++. One of the community members rewrote the miner to take advantage of GPUs for both Windows and Linux. And I think it also runs on the Mac. It does send hashes into an RPC that is ran by X1 blockchain, but it doesn't like if you look at the code, there is an address of an RPC and it goes to a server. That is certainly true, but it's true for every blockchain. So every blockchain has some sort of an endpoint that you connect to. For example, with Ethereum, you connect to Infura RPC with MetaMask. Now, in our case, you can choose any RPC node you want and it will work. Like the hashes will go there, and it does make it decentralized because you have an option to connect to any community RPC entry points that you choose. So I don't see that as centralization in any way. So I think, I mean, like, I can't say it's a valid question because, again, it's like it has this FUD smell in it because it has the term RPC, but it doesn't say what RPC, where it is, what is it doing. If he's still thinking we're running Python, well, clearly that doesn't apply because we're not running Python. Python used to run on CPUs, and that was the only thing we used Python for. Now we're running C++ miners for Xen blocks. So anyway, hopefully that answers that question.
We're not Bitcoin, therefore we're not decentralized, is what I'm getting from that.
Jack?
Let it rip, Val.
Okay, do you hear me?
Okay, guys, I'm taking off.
No,
Thank you.
one last question.
Jack. You gotta let it rip, man, before he goes.
Guys, Jack, as you know, many new projects layer 2 on Bitcoin are coming right now. It's a new narrative. And you were the first guy mentioned about this back in May last year, talking about this, Bitcoin layer 2. How do you think now X1 could be the part of this narrative at the launch?
Oh, he's gone, bro.
He left?
Yep. From mine, he's left. He's like in connecting, getting up out of here. Yo, listen, I just want to let y'all know I defended fucking X1 for 3 fucking hours.
It's
3 fucking hours I defended X1. And I'm glad everything was set straight.
Guys, what a fucking space. Amazing space. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound.
Meaningful space.
Yep.
I held the fucking ground.
Needed to be done.
I was by myself.
I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Simple came up and handled
I
it.
definitely got to listen to it over again because I was working while I was hosting this shit. But yeah, I'm glad everybody let it out. Much love, much respect to everybody under the sound of my voice. I'm so glad everybody showed up. And we let it out.
Yeah.
And everybody has their perspective.
And if you don't
But
know,
this
now
is
you
Zen at the
know.
barbershop, brothers.
If you don't know, now you know.
I'm excited. I'm minding my own business. I'm minding my own blocks. I'm believing in something greater than me, bro. Like I learned how to DCA, and I'm DCAing on this difficulty. Fuck what anybody else is saying. You heard me? So DCA, if you want to learn how to mine crypto, bruh, has a nice little. I looked at it 3, 4, 5 times. Go on crypto, bro. You can listen to it there. Tree City got one. You can listen to it there. They got a one-liner. Isn't that right, crypto, bro?
Dude, the miner's getting abstract now. That's why it's pretty funny how Jack said like it's C++, but I would honestly say it's free-forming. I keep bringing this up, but I just want to bring it up real quick. One of the biggest impacts in Bitcoin's mining history is when it actually did make that transition from GPU or from CPU to GPU, because people seen, in my interpretation and just from my research, people seen the flexibility of getting Bitcoin to other people, like that idea that, oh, we can speed this up to get more people Bitcoins faster because we can hash them faster. So with our Zen miner kind of taking on this new flexibility, right? Like it was Python, now it's C++ because of the GPUs. And then today, somebody released a website. Granted, it has to be compiled through your computer because it uses your computer as like a server, because there's no real website for this world right now. It's still very new. But somebody made a website where you click one button and it starts mining Zen blocks in seconds. Like it literally takes 10 minutes to set up. And then next thing you know, you could just like say you want 12 3090s and you hit go, and then it just throws, it goes out and bids on 12 3090s and puts them into your basket of instances. It's pretty epic, but again, it's still very new. Come to the Zenblocks chat if you're interested in learning some of the different miners. But yeah, my thing on my X account is, I call it the under the hood explanation. So it's 20 minutes long, but it's going to teach you the ins and outs of all of the commands you're doing, so you have a better clarity when you run into errors, to how to repair those. Some of the one-liners I don't really recommend for new people, because you're going to see an issue and then you're not going to know how to fix it. But that's why it's there, is for that simplicity, because we want people to get on board it.
I'm kind of happy that I mean, it's exciting that people are going to have that, be able to just enter their address and be able to log in, but I'm kind of happy that it's not 100% a go yet, because I think once that's available, the difficulty is going to get pretty wild. Maybe that's the little bit, scarcity mindset, but hey, there's only a certain amount of blocks and difficulty starts getting higher. It's going to get a little bit more difficult to get blocks. So I think not financial advice for anyone, but probably get it while you can right now before it starts getting easier and easier for people that aren't able. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about that is what we're getting to now, I think, in the Zen blocks discussion, is we're getting closer to the comprehension of difficulty. So this is why I feel like we're starting to see better user experience that people can articulate, right? The longer that the Zen miner stays around, the more people use it and get their own experience, the more innovation that can kind of show up. So that's what's kind of crazy to me, is right now I think it's at like 120,000 for the difficulty, but all I see is like 120 gigabytes. Like, and then my hashes, I just see megabytes. Because in case you didn't know, a good way to like play the Zenblocks game is when the difficulty goes down, think of that as like the gigabytes to gain access to the gated community, which is Zenblocks, right? Like you want to get a block, but if you don't offer enough hashes, you're basically waiting in line for like the gate to open so you can come inside to get your block, right? And seeing that difficulty go down, it's like you essentially getting more access to Argon 2, because some people have turned down, like maybe they ran out of money, or maybe, there's a power outage with somebody who has a ton of GPUs, there's a lot of different scenarios on why difficulty goes down. But for the opportunists, that's like when you actually want to like spike up your hashes. You kind of want to place yourself into, I call a future mode, so that you can set yourself up for when difficulty goes up again, right? Because then when difficulty goes up, you're going to need even more hashes to access the algorithm. So that I love it when it goes down, just for new explorers, right? Just people who want to try it out. Like, this is when you're going to get quite a bit, you know, and I don't know how long it's going to stay here. So I could be saying all this shit right now, and then tomorrow it's at 140.
It's okay. It's okay. But that's what it is, though. Again, all right, dollar cost average. I'm enjoying it. You know, my homeboy that worked with me on his background, he got I loved it, dude. I'm gonna take a picture of the 120 because that's the lowest I have gotten. His background, he got 1500, bro. Difficulty. I think that's fucking bullish. You understand? I'm just learning. I tell you what, the time is now. The place is here. If you heard it from the fucking founder himself, fuck everything you hearing. Put this shit into practice. Everything's going through X&M. Everything. All the fucking money, all the power, all the fucking energy, bitches. You heard him. You better rewind this shit. I'm gonna rewind it. This shit is happy, man. 40 blocks. Tell them they think I'm full of shit.
If I hear one person say that Jack Levin front ran Xen blocks, you know, it's gonna be crazy.
Dude,
Do we say crypto bro ran it?
I'm annoyed at
Yeah.
Dude, when it comes to
Like we've been. Yeah, go ahead, Tad. Go ahead, Tad. Sorry.
No, like I'm just reading some of the comments because I was checking out Block's comment and I saw some dickhead in there. I think we all know who it is under an alt saying, and I don't. It pisses me off, so I almost don't want to say it on space because it's a really racist and prejudiced fucking comment. But I'm pretty sure we can all assume that it's a certain somebody, and it says something about Rome and Simple, and then basically fucking takes a shot at Rome saying he's too busy cutting hair like an immigrant. I think we know who said that, and whoever said that, you're a fucking piece of shit because Rome has always said good things about you in a joking manner. He's always been cool to you no matter how dumbass and no matter how much you act out. And I swear to God, bro, if I ever saw you in person and saw you say some shit like that, I would smack the fucking shit out of you and I would get a battery charge for it. And I say I'm going to, saying if I ever saw you in person, that might fucking happen. Because that is some bullshit and that's some racist, prejudiced ass shit, dude. I don't fucking tolerate that, bro. And that's why when people come in here and shit on Jack and FUD and shit, like we gotta take that shit with a grain of salt because you have psychopaths in here that act like they're cool to your face and then write some crazy outlandish fucking shit on an alt like that. Like, how disrespectful can you be, dude? I swear.
Yeah, I'd say Cleo can go fuck himself, like hard, and Block 6 can definitely go fuck himself. And yeah, I'll keep saying that continuously over and over and over again. He might have a powerful voice. He might try coming in flexing some shit, but dude, like he doesn't need to be fuck. He can go fuck himself. They both can go fuck himself. Me personally, like those two characters are no longer welcome in my particular space. People can say gatekeep or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Reflections, you too, bro. Like fuck you too. No, I'm just playing. But no, man. Like on God, like this shit. We're here. We're playing, and you know, people can get flooded out of their shit. I mean, this is probably one of the best spaces that has ever fucking happened in the Xen ecosystem. Like for real. Jack just kind of came up and served it, speaking the truth and what's happening, and we're all fucking making this shit possible through the community. And so if you guys like, if people want to keep fucking welcoming it and shit, like, you know, I'll be the first to say, you know, I welcome some of these fucking characters or whatever in my space, you know, after some harm they've done to others. And you know, I'm not necessarily condoning any of that. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but like at this point, like you're either with us or you're against us. And if you're against us, get fucked and go play in some other territory, because Xen's gonna be here, X1's gonna be here, and you're either with us or you're against us. So that's my 2 cents.
Man, I've been on it.
Damn, no lube.
No, I've been on it. I've been thinking we should cut motherfuckers off. I don't know what y'all been on.
I've
but
been too fucking
I'm
nice.
glad y'all getting to that point now.
Play fucking cordial and shit. No, bro. Like
yeah.
Now we'll start fucking playing. You want to start playing? We'll start playing. I'm not fucking playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, we told you about Cleo.
Bro, when you don't have to tell me shit about Cleo, bro. I had Cloud Cox as fucking co-host, and Cleo's fucking doing some weird ass shit with that dude. I don't even want to get into it because I don't know, you know. But at the same time, like, you know, I mean, I've seen it. A lot of people see it, and so it's like you try to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know. But at the end of the day, like, you can't teach anyone a damn thing. You know, the code is what is the final say, and participation is the recipe. So if you're participating, cool. If you're not, like, or if you say you are and you're trying to be a whale, like Jack said, like, this shit's whale proof. Like, we've been saying that for a minute. So anyone that thinks they have bags or whatever, like, whatever, dump them. Peace be with you.
Man, I'm glad we're getting to that point. I'm really happy we're getting to this point.
Get to a point where you mine some more Xen.
Hey guys,
Man,
can I add
listen.
something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead. Stay proof.
Yeah, a couple of things. So Val, if you ever get the answer to that question about Bitcoin L2s, please let me know. That's really an important question. The other thing I wanted to add is, like, you know, we have a lot of proof of work blockchains releasing every day. I'm monitoring hash rates every day, but we have the strong we have a strong community like a holder account, right? That's big. And the other thing that I wanted to say was you know, an aspect that's kind of non-technical about Jack, you know, it's I don't really like I really don't try to follow and, you know, just one person here and there, but Jack is you know, a big believer, I believe. My personal opinion is that he's a believer in you know, human longevity. So he's a long-term thinker. He probably follows Dr. Aubrey de Grey, Dr. David Sinclair. You know, I've spoken to him about NMN before, and therapies around extending human lifespan. So to me, that's what personally drew me to Jack, was like the long-term thinking that he has. You know, I trust him more than somebody that, you know, just talks about a cycle or two, and is always just trying to find a short-term solution. So that's kind of one aspect, you know, that I'd like to bring up is just a long-term thinker. He's a long-term thinker in health and in blockchain, and that's what really attracts me to him.
That's powerful.
Oh, wait.
Stay proof. That's powerful. Thank you for sharing, bro. Straight up.
Hey, Steve, I think you were asking about like the marketing thing. Was it you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
important.
Jack,
It's important. You know, $4 billion Merlin chain drew in through marketing and having a little bit of a product as well. But yeah, that was me.
yeah. So I don't think, you know, we've officially started like the real marketing, but Jack has been attending different spaces, whether it's like the OG NFT crowds and you know, the ordinals groups and like those guys. So Jack has been in those spaces and like he's been talking with those folks and like talking to them about X1. And the thing is, you know, like for example, AVAX, they shun ordinals. But here we're saying that, hey, what, you know, if AVAX don't want you guys, we embracing, you know, ordinals. So X1 by default has multiple layers of narratives built in. We got like the NFT crowd, we got a proof of work crowd, we got a proof of stake crowd, we got the ordinals crowd, we got the what else we got? I'm drawing a blank right now, but we have a couple. I keep seeing these like different narratives. Like I usually have like 8 or 9 of them, but we have a lot of different narratives right now built into X1. So I think we're starting off good. And like you
Can we
know,
change
like
the word from narrative to community? A lot of different communities in X1.
we could
Because that's what it is, you know, like if you're into something and someone else is into it and then y'all vibe out and then you're like, damn, we vibed out on this thing we are like-minded on, you're building a community, right?
right. But the thing is that, like, you know, like when you go into like those Twitter spaces or whatever it is, you know, people always say, what's the narrative? You know, like, why should I invest into this? So you're using
That's
the
why you
word
swerve on them and say, this is a community.
fair point, fair point. But yeah, still proof. We have like 8 or 9 different, you know, communities built into X1. And it's, you know, it's just gonna take off. But I really think, you know, Jack mentioned that he's not really going to be doing anything crazy with regards to like marketing, from what I remember correctly, until he has like a working product in hand, and then foot on the gas, and that's going to happen like in Q1, Q2 of this year.
Can we talk about some of these conferences that Jack's been going to with like the AI stuff? Like, you don't think that he's probably not directly talking about Xen, but you don't think that there's like that long-term thinking applied in these different sectors and like just different ways to plug and play things? Like, I think that's like, we're talking about marketing. I think that's going to be part of the marketing, right? Is like, we have like, look, you can look in this like room. There's so many different people with different PFPs, different names, different communities. Like, we have so much different I guess you could say style and just diversity in our community, as far as like people's interests, right? But like, we're all, here talking about Xen and X1, and it's like there's going to be so much different I guess exposure inside of these micro ecosystems or these micro niches. And that's kind of the marketing, right?
Yeah, I guess it was I might have phrased it wrong. I mean, it's more around the strategy because he mentioned Blast, right? And I don't know about Blast, but I know like with Merlin, they got the TVL locked up, and then they have the staking. So they're gonna get airdropped a token to keep users inside that system, inside the network. So we have a strategy. We have a clear strategy because we have Xen, we have the communities, or the 9 communities that you mentioned. Like I said, we probably don't have real world assets yet, but I'm sure we will once the blockchain is here. But really, it's going to come down to like the big bang, once the strategy plays out where everyone gets their XN tokens, and then it's going to play out. And then what's going to be important is keeping and incentivizing the developers, but keeping the holders happy. So we don't have like a staking component or an airdrop necessarily to that's coming later down the line after all the values locked in, but I'm sure they're cooking up something. So that's really what the question was to Jack. But I'm totally with you guys, and I'm excited to listen to the recording as well.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, I think some of the confusion and the FUD is just the lack of information that we have right now, but we know it's coming. We're going to get the white paper soon, so all will be revealed, hopefully, with the white paper. So I understand where some of the pushback and the FUD is coming from, but let's just wait until it comes out, the white paper.
Well, I think what's interesting is like, just as a community and like everyone that's been part of this, since, before launch or wherever you picked up, we were getting new information daily, weekly. There was new things happening, and we always had something to chew on, whether it be a new chain or understanding like game theory or things like that. And now that we don't necessarily have things to chew on, people are just like maybe getting a little bit thrown off of like the mission of what's happening, and whether it's the AMP or what's happening with Zen blocks. And it's like these narratives and people just start talking some shit, and people get thrown off of the original message, so it's
No, I don't think they're getting thrown off. I think they don't know, and I think they're pretending like they're trying to know, and they don't. Oh, my fault. I didn't know nobody's hands was up. My apologies.
It also has to do with Jack just being so freaking like accessible, dude. The fact that people can reach out to him and he answers and he's always on spaces, that's where the FUD's at. If you look at all these other developers on layer 1s, they're not accessible at all. So there's nothing to talk about or question. They're just like, oh, let them go do what they want, I guess. But you see somebody like Jack, dude, constantly fucking fighting off people because he's just accessible and he's there.
But I think Ted,
Ted,
that will be a kind of a unintended side effect. It'll be like a success factor actually, because the projects that the founders come around in spaces and they answer the community and they're quick and responsive. I mean, you build long-term trust, and like again, I hate to bring it up, but like that's why Merlin Chain is getting success too. The founder is coming around, so So yeah, I think it's
Great
gonna be.
point. Great point.
Well, I would say like the reason why I don't like the word narrative in crypto and I like the word community is because I still feel like a lot of people feel like they're fucking like hokey pokey in the crypto industry and they can't really like man up to the idea that like we're in this shit, like we're in the spaceship, and like all of us are in our own communities, right? We harp on it like, yo, look at all the PFPs, like we're all different. That is economics in itself. Everybody has their own economic value, of piece of participation in this idea of Zen. And what's so beautiful is that we are looking at Jack as almost like a pillar of information or of success. Like, oh, we're gonna get success with this guy. But realistically, he's bringing the business to us so we can bring the business to them, right? And that's what's the coolest thing. He's here right now because he's giving you guys the game to create your own, because we're based in community. We're based in helping each other get to the next level. Like, I'm coding for no fucking reason because all these other smart people are bringing me to where I want to be, which is manipulating the internet rather than just using it. Like, I thought I was manipulating it, but I guess not as much as I've learned in these past 4 months. And again, that's community. Now I've joined the development community. And we all have our own little piece of something that we're trying to make in crypto. And this is the product that X1 is offering you. This is why it's easy to talk about it. This is why we have 3 different coins to secure this beast that's getting ready to come out. And then you guys are going to be the Jack Levins that have to talk to people about why the fuck did you get into this shit? And you're going to have all this firepower and experience to actually talk about each layer of cryptocurrency and its ifs and ands, yet we have the actual, I want to say, exclamation mark of solution right now. Like this, I don't know anything more. I don't know. I keep saying it because I want somebody to tell me, but I don't know anything that's going to come out with as much community as X1 chain rather than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin came out with a lot of community, a lot of open sourced developers spawned it into the reality. And then those developers helped it inspire Ethereum, right? It helped inspire the Vitalik. It inspired the Charles. It inspired the Gavin. I think we're all on that same trajectory. So just to bring it back to space and Earth at the same damn time, we all gotta cherish these moments with Jack, because this is actually very rare, and it's probably gonna be a time where he's not around, and we have this really awesome blockchain to be versatile with and change the world however we feel in technology. And you guys are part of the community. You're hokey pokey. You got one toe in. You got a 9 to 5. But at the end of the day, this is a special branch of the community that you were able to stumble into. And I just hope you can cherish these moments with a developer like Jack, because it's like it's almost like hanging out with Elon Musk before he got to the level where you couldn't hang out with him no more.
And I just want to say, like, the manipulation thing, I just would say, like, maybe we can change that to design, because you're not manipulating shit. You're designing shit. You know what I mean?
Creating, motherfucker. That's what you're doing.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, I'm on this thing right now where I think Zen is ushering in post-quantum crypto, because the more I'm doing, like, again, it's not about whose industry is the best. It's about how do we connect our communities to make Mother Earth better than where we are right now. Like, it spins how it spins, but that's why, like, okay, we'll go to the Richard Jack Levin conversation. That's why it got to the point of, in this conversation, what do we talk about? Well, how do we make the world better? Right? Because we do in everything. We know all the fucking smart contracts. We know all the we know all the ups and downs of being in the cryptos, and it is true. The last thing left is a blockchain that supports every community and pushes crypto as a whole into a better environment, into a new renaissance of what is the crypto industry. What are we, just PFPs and VCs? Are we innovators that are actually pushing technology to the next level, right? Are we the Elon Musk and all that fun shit? Are we the Steve Jobs? And that's again why I think our language of how we explain our passion in this industry matters. So those that aren't in it, they feel it, and then they go, damn, I wish I could speak the industry the way that guy does or girl, right? That's kind of where I've been in my whole year this year, is just trying to find better words to articulate the things I'm passionate about. And I hope now I can talk about Xen blocks, not too cuckoo, and bring it back to earth. And every day, that's all I do is focus on how do I make Xen blocks simpler and simpler, and it's naturally doing it. So that's the community, right? And it's not a narrative. That's my pain point right now. Fucking narratives, AI. Yo, we part of the AI community. That's the mind blowing of them all, dude. Who would have known? You don't want to be an AI, Tad?
Dude,
I
hell
think
yeah.
you're right. I
I'm
think
pumped
we are
about
getting to
that, dude. I'm so pumped that that's going to be one of our narratives for sure. It's going to be cool.
Communities.
Nah, we fucking AI, man.
No, I mean, what the crazy part is yeah, there's a lot of room for greatness, you know. And I think that you know, being a part of this community, it's epic. Like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck are we here?
Not by luck, not by coincidence.
Well, what I'm also trying to poke at right now is I go around and I look at other things in crypto and I challenge it on that blank, like, because now, you know, it's pretty blank. Like everything is either a shill or a get me in, like the layer 2 scenario on Bitcoin. It's like the end game is to get you trapped. Like even when people talk about it, they'll be like, we got to get them people trapped in there. And it's like, all right, look at the way that we're now articulating how we want people to use our products. We want to trap these people in our products. Like how far away are we from the rock that we can't actually make users anymore? I mean, that's kind of why, again, I like to reference Steve Jobs, because he thinks of the personal computer different, and he really thought of a PC as like a PC and not like these are both computers. And that's why Apple has a better UI, because it was UX focused with the same computer parts. Now shit's fucking expensive for no reason, right? And again, I think in our community we have the flexibleness to be innovative, because we're not so hyper focused on how does this product get to the masses, yet abundance, so everybody can have it, and then we can all explore and do whatever we want with it. It's, you know, it's a free programmable token. But then you get, now we're pretty complex in this, right? That's the Xen world. So then you get into the X1 world, where now you can bring your free practice into play, and there could be crazy opportunity for you, because now you've entered the playground. Like you've gone from, I was making shit coins with the Xen coin to like I'm making dApps on X1 chain, grossing tons of transactions, right? Like you're really leveling up in crypto, and you're getting away again from this narrative that all you know is smart contracts and how to divide a pie. I'm getting really passionate about this, because I hate that that's the direction of our industry. And I do believe Xen is something that's going to spark something new in the way people think about development. At least that's how I'm harping it. So you'll hear that all the time from me.
Damn,
You guys are
son.
all the stars. Lottie-do, lottie-dee.
No, we're just nobodies here.
And
let's keep it that way.
that was Crypto Bros impromptu TED Talk. I feel sold. How many racks you
Well,
want?
hey, bro, I could go in on like the crypto development topic, because I feel like that's why as an industry we're losing the AI race, because even like this is why I'm loving the approach that we're bringing to AI, because it keeps the user involved, and it also keeps the user in an ownership role, which are very key things you want in a product. You want to make sure that that user feels like they own it in technology, so they naturally tell other people about it. That's